Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Me fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. So many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. With this my majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Tuesday, getting ready for Tuesday night's main event. And we are going to cover a couple of things, but specifically the Alex Jones versus Quartering debate has happened today. I've only seen a couple of clips, and I don't know what to, the internet is just in a weird place right now. I have no idea what's going on the internet. Everything is crazy. Everyone is fighting. Everyone is mad, and we're just gonna sit here and laugh at all of it. Marmillan pre-stream chat Griff tags hail the 199 and the King Beggar.
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
Thank you, Marmillan. Bill Herb says, in case someone doesn't mention it, I will. The Odyssey. Let's freaking go. That's what I'm talking about. This chat, I'm loving this chat. Because now we got Little Jim Sailor says, what is the Odyssey for? Don's third leg says, Odd E. Todd says, I get my news from a Florida man named D-Day Cobra. What a world we live in. Yeah, we're in bad shape, brother. We're in bad shape if that's where you're getting your news. And unfortunately, I met a lot of you in Vegas that said the same thing. And I'm like, I should appreciate this, but it's sad, but here we are. Bill Herb says, stop playing this shit. JD Advance is so boring. It's almost as played out as Sydney Sweeney. Honestly, playing clips of her is the worst. Don't do that, please. I beg you. I'm starting to think that I think you're trolling a little bit. I'm sensing some trolling there, Bill. Now, I know no one in my chat would be sarcastic or try to troll. Because I'm never sarcastic and I'm never going to troll. But I think I know what you're doing, buddy. I think I see right through it. Pyro Fusion Dancer says, Tim Pool video today. Alex got the call and he and Tucker and others have heel turned on Trump because they are copying Candace for money. Is that a Tim Pool video? So I saw that Alex Jones was fighting with Tim Pool as well. Let's see if I can find this. Well, Tim has like so many channels, so I don't know which one I'm looking for. So let's try Tim Cast. He's got, are you just saying that in theory? He's like, no, hang on. Yeah, Tim says Alex Jones betrays Tim Pool. He got the call. Holy crap, dude. What is happening right now on the internet? Everyone is fighting. Munchie Ninja said he sent me the video. Yeah, I got it right here on Tim Pool's channel now. So first off, all right, so, oh man, I don't know where to start. Like, everything is crazy. I have never seen the internet as wild as it is right now. Maybe that's hyperbole. Maybe it's because I'm too close to it, but I think that I have a good idea of perspective. And between the political landscape, between the entertainment landscape, even bringing video games into it, movies, all that, like, I have never seen it more insane than it is right now. It's fucking crazy. I mean, this whole like MAGA situation and stuff with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and the Charlie Kirk narrative. And now you've got Alex Jones fighting with everybody. I don't know, man. Shit's crazy. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm navigating it. But it's not easy. Bill Herb says Alex is beefing with the Quarter Pounder and Timcast. Clearly someone hates coffee. How are the GTA leaks? I know we haven't even gotten GTA 6 yet. Piano D says, in many ways, trees are our most effective teachers. I do not wish to elaborate. Thank you, Piano Dean. I'm glad you didn't want to elaborate any. Yapping Tom says, Gary and is that Fuentes? Is that it? Sharing birthday is real. It is Gary's birthday. It is Gary's birthday. Right here. Gilf. Gays I'd like to fuck. Gary Nerdrotic. Happy birthday, boo. Of all of the gay homosexual jokes that have been made over the last 5 years, this is the single, this is including memes, this is including jokes, all of that. This picture right here is the gayest thing I have ever seen produced in this entire sphere. That is, like, you have to understand, there's been some extremely cringy stuff that you guys have done. This is including Beardo. This is including Tree Bears memes. Nothing is gayer than this picture right here. They just look like the happiest gay couple I have ever seen in my life. And I'm just going to be real here. Like, if you're looking at this picture, clearly Az is the bitch in the relationship. There's like, Az is clearly the woman. Az is so happy to go home and cook and clean and do all the chores and just be a proper woman. Like, it's just like Az's face is like, I have to send this to my family to show them I found a real man. But anyway, happy birthday, Gary. Hail, Gary. And Az actually moved the real BBC over to Gary's channel today. That was a bro move right there. That was super cool, man. So good stuff indeed. The Exalted Patriarch says, F in the chat for Green Lantern tax. Bill Herb says, GTA leaks 2 big things are happening. A lot's going on. Clever Luther says, now if there were only Kung Fu fighting. Bill Herb says, I might unsubscribe from Az now. All right, so we have the quartering and Alex Jones. This clip I saw from Madam Savvy. Whoa, buddy. Quartering gets felted live after inviting himself to an event. Alex Jones shakes his head no. All right, here we go. Here, I don't know what happened in this discussion, but I did see this clip right here.
Jeremy, what's your view on this?
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. First of all, I'd love to go to that. I see that's down in Dallas, so maybe we can meet up there, and you could take me out for a fancy steak dinner, and we can wrestle or something like that. But I mean, I think that America needs Christ right
now. Oh God! Oh no! What? Oh no.
First of all, I'd love to go to that. I see that's down in Dallas, so maybe we can meet up there, and you could take me out for a fancy steak dinner, and we can wrestle or something like that. But I mean, I think that America needs Christ right now.
Wow. Okay, so I do have the beginning of this debate pulled up on Alex Jones' Rumble channel here. So I think this is where it starts. So we're going to check this out. I don't know how long it goes, but here we go.
Years before they happen, right here on the Alex Jones Show.
Well, I've challenged Andrew Wilson to debate me in the last week. He won't even return the call back to my producer, but he calls my son up asking what's going on because he knows him. I guarantee you, and I'm challenging right now, Tim Pool to come on and debate me. If there's no money involved, he obviously won't do it. If there is some money, he can't control himself. I'm sure he will.
Bro, Alex is going after everybody right now. Holy crap.
He thinks there's like a nickel or something involved. But Jeremy from the Quartering will come on and debate me. And I like Jeremy, been on his show off and on for years. And I appreciate him coming on. But I think the main thing he does is hides behind that he's just crap posting or it's just a joke. But he said maybe the Pakistani bots are asleep when I was talking about the big live streaming glitch on X. It was confirmed to be a glitch that they fixed by Monday morning. Alex is a daily viewer. I have personally tuned out since you've been on this Jews killed Charlie Kirk nonsense. I'll tune back in when you come back to your senses. Well, again, they're all playing on that glitch with me pointing it out that was affecting all live streamers, saying you're not popular. No, it's the war. It's the economy in deep trouble. It's Israel trying to take control of our Congress and trying to run our foreign policy. That's what's unpopular. I don't want my main issue to be Israel. I'm all over the Muslims. I'm not in the Red-Green Alliance. But Israel is bragging that it's primarying people in Congress. It's bragging that Netanyahu wrote the subsection of the NDAA 219 that literally merges them with our military. So that's where I stand. And I'm going to play a short clip before we go to Jeremy of The Quartering, thequartering.com, on X, The Quartering, on Rumble, The Quartering, popular show. And I do think, I did watch this morning while I was working out, part of it, him and Rex last night debating. And I'll tell Rex, I think I appreciate him defending me, but I think he's being a little mean. And I mean, we're obviously a little mean, all of us, but we can't be so mad at people we disagree with. When we agree with them, I'd say on 95% of stuff. And that's what I've been saying the whole time when Trump called me low IQ and burnout and all these attacks. That doesn't make me mad. It makes me mad that he's siding with never Trumpers who have almost no viewers now, like Ben Shapiro, and it's going to make us lose the midterms. And the war is literally cutting off energy and the fertilizer. And now JP Morgan and others say we're going to have a global food crisis and mass migrant floods. I just think multi-level stages in, it's kind of a curse I have, I guess. It's how I think. Talk about 3D chess. We're doing it here. That's how we predict tomorrow's news today. But here's some reporters breaking down the fact that it's very destructive to have the Israel First lobby come in, become Trump's brain, and attack everybody that questioned the war. And a lot of them got emotional and did overcorrect and basically have become Democrat apologists at some levels in all of this. But I'm not those people, and I'm not mad at them. I know why they overcorrected. I'm literally trying to defeat the globalist and the Red-Green Alliance and the Chi-Coms and the New World Order. And now in the power vacuum, we got the Israel trying to flood him with Netanyahu to take full control when he's so unpopular even in Israel. So here's clip 16, and we'll go to Jeremy of The Quarter.
Alex is...
So don't worry, Tucker, you can come back. Don't worry, Joe, you can come back. Don't worry, Marjorie, you can come back. Don't worry, Thomas, you can come back. Don't worry, Alex, you can come back. Don't worry, Marjorie, you can come back. What do all these people have in common? They're either OG MAGA or they represent what was truly new MAGA in 24, and they brought along the numbers that got us a winning coalition. You know, all of these other people out there, they dismiss these criticisms and these people fracturing off. You act like you had a 10-point popular vote win or something. You don't. And let me just give everybody a little bit of a stat, and then I'll kick it back to you, because this is real, and these people can destroy the Republican Party if they choose to do so. So instead of, mocking them and making fun of them, you should be trying to figure out how to court them back, because you chase them away for a tiny parasitic sliver of the coalition. Neocon.
Okay, first of all, you're talking about a bunch of people that jumped on the bandwagon. You don't try to bring people back that jumped on a bandwagon and then jumped off the bandwagon. If you try to focus on people that are bandwagon jumpers, you're going to lose everything. So no, 100%, you should never chase bandwagoners. These are a bunch of bandwagoners that jumped on the MAGA train late in 2024 because everybody was jumping on the fucking MAGA train. Trump got shot. Trump's having assassination attempts like crazy. Everybody was starting to move to that. He made Joe Biden look like an idiot in the debate. They got rid of Joe Biden because they realized he couldn't hang with Trump. They threw Kamala in there because they knew that that was the only way to get rid of Kamala. Everybody knew Trump was going to win, so they just jumped on the bandwagon. And you think that people should chase bandwagon jumpers? What are you talking about?
Are nothing. They're literally dying right in front of our faces, people. Lindsey Graham just corked off out of nowhere. Mitch McConnell is still alive, but he's not, okay? They're literally dying in front of our face, and you're sacrificing the future coalition, the future of America, our future ability to win elections for these dinosaurs who are going extinct. And the truth is, the comet has been heading to Earth for years. They just never saw it coming because they're too stupid and too old to see it. So
I don't know who that guy is, but he's smart and I want him on. But I don't want to be back at the cool table. I mean, quite frankly, Democrats get back in there trying to put me in prison. I'm not course corrected on Trump because of that, but it's a nice fringe byproduct that they might not be as interjected to put me in prison as they were last time. But they will, because I'm going to come after him. I'm not going to do softball interviews with Hunter Biden. So bringing in Jeremy of the Quartering, popular YouTube and Rumble commentator with millions of subscribers, and owner of the coffee brand, coffee.com, and a apolitical coffee company seeking just to get people great coffee. So we're plugging for you, thequartering.com. And I like his show. I like his clips, though.
I like his show. He doesn't watch it. It's the same thing he said to all of us on Friday Night Tights. I love all your channels. I watch all of you. You guys are great. I really appreciate all your insight. What? You care about watching us talk about black people and women in movies? What are you talking about?
He's not taking Israeli money and not meeting with the prime minister of Israel secretly. And I'm not saying he is. He certainly is regurgitating the points, or maybe he just agrees with them. So, Jeremy, good to have you on with us.
Thanks, Alex. It's an honor to be on your show. And I appreciate you taking the time to have me on today and to discuss perhaps a small disagreement.
It's an honor to be on your show. I buttoned my top button. I just didn't iron my shirt, but it's an honor to be on your show. Here's what I'll say about the Quartering. I find I've said this even back when I was cool with the Quartering. The Quartering is horrifically boring in his videos. Okay? Absolutely horrifically boring. However, I've always thought that on live streams and in live formats, not his, by the way, I'm talking about other people's shows, like when we would had him on, or when he would be on other people's shows when he came on Friday Night Tights. I thought that the Quartering was actually decent on live streams when it wasn't his own live stream. But when he was on other people's shows, kind of how I talk about Nick Fuentes and how Nick Fuentes is phenomenal when he's on other people's platforms. I think that Quartering is better when he's on other people's live shows and the way that he articulates himself and stays focused. But that's just, my take on that. Now, I don't know how this is going to go, but that's how I've always felt about him.
That we have. I think you're right. We agree on 98% of things. And I'm looking forward to this opportunity to try and hopefully refocus people, because
I think this is Rumble.
I think there's a lot of infighting right now going on the right, whatever form of the right you want to talk about. And, after Charlie Kirk was assassinated brutally, it was a real opportunity to finally defeat the left. And instead, it seems like the right is more focused on infighting in certain foreign countries. And that's why I'm here. I want to try to hopefully realign together before complete disaster with the midterms and then the 2028 election.
I agree with that. And, early on, because the trannies were saying they were going to kill him and they celebrated, and George Zinn jumped up and, diverted and all that. And a bunch of them turned around instantly cheering. They knew. I was like, no, I don't think it's Israel. And I still can't prove that. That's the majority of people I think that. And then I get called an Israeli operative for saying, come on, let's look at everything here. But then I learned about Kash Patel killing and investigations into foreign involvement from other sources, later directly from Joe Kent, the head of counterterrorism. And then just everything else. I don't know what happened. I just don't buy the story. And I even told TPUSA highest levels early on, I said, have you asked Kash Patel about the 10 posts in the 3 days before in the town saying he'll be dead when he comes here. And then they celebrated it. And he said, yeah, we think they might have known, but we can't convict them. So we're not going to go after him. Well, there's the proof. So why did Kash Patel do that? So I'm in the middle here, not on purpose. I'm usually decisive, but this is such a quagmire, such chaos, that I've criticized a lot of the stuff Candace has said, Egyptian planes and Fort Huachuca, and I get called, but then I've also criticized, people saying, oh, no, it's all open and shut when there's a lot of problems. I mean, so that's where I'm at.
Well, I think where I'm coming from, and obviously the bot conversation was not about you. The comment was not about you specifically, and sometimes that gets lost in translation on places like X.
What the fuck are they showing that for? Why would you show that, Alex? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Why the fuck would they show that? Holy shit. That is seriously fucked up. Wow. That is next fucking level fucked up. I cannot believe that they showed that shit unedited. The level of disrespect to Charlie fucking Kirk and the entire audience. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't even know if I want to keep playing it. If they're just going to throw that shit in there.
It's about anything, Israel.
Dude, what the fuck? He's still showing shit. I mean, I'm not even going to react to this shit if that's what he's going to do. Good God.
It was confirmed to be a glitch that they fixed by Monday morning. Alex is a daily viewer. I have personally tuned out since you've been on this Jews killed Charlie Kirk nonsense. I'll tune back in when you come back to your senses. Well, again, they're all playing on that glitch with me pointing it out that was affecting all live streamers, saying you're not popular. No, it's the war. It's the economy in deep trouble. It's Israel trying to take control of our Congress and trying to run our foreign policy. That's what's unpopular. I don't want my main issue to be Israel. I'm all over the Muslims. I'm not in the red-green alliance. But Israel is bragging that it's primarying people in Congress. It's bragging that Netanyahu wrote the subsection of the NDAA 219 that literally merges them with our military. So that's where I stand. And I'm going to play a short clip before we go to Jeremy of The Quartering, thequartering.com, on X, The Quartering, on Rumble, The Quartering, popularly passing their government to engage.
Rumble is so fucking shitty. I can't even find where they were talking. Okay, here we go.
And told their head PR guy, this is a really bad idea. I said, what are you doing? There's
So I'm so, when you say your head
let me be 100%
hurts,
clear. No, I hear you. Let me be 100% clear. There's propaganda from all angles. Erica Kirk, a week after he dies, in black hot leather pants with fireworks shooting off. Terrible look. I called them and told their head PR.
Again, I've been over this. If you want to criticize what Erica Kirk did and how she came out there, that is perfectly fine. But add the context as to why she does it. And this is what I don't understand. It's literally honoring how Charlie Kirk would come out to all of his... Look, right here. This is how Charlie Kirk would enter. This is how Charlie would enter when he would show up to Turning Point events. So if you want to say it was a bad look, I don't disagree with you, but add the context that she is doing it to honor the memory of her late husband. So you can at least educate the general public as to why it's being done. Even if you don't think it's a good idea optically, there is a reason why it's being done. So there you have that. So back to this.
PR guy, this is a really bad idea. I said, what are you doing? There's no doubt TBUSA did a great job getting young voters registered to vote Republican. There's no doubt that the Democrats are having everybody on and boosting this, and Google is boosting it. And look, I'm still banned on YouTube. Nothing against Candace. She is not just on YouTube; she is boosted. So just
Why
because
do you think
that's
that
all,
is, Alex?
well, no. Just because I say all that on
Exactly. Like she's literally boosted on YouTube. Yet I am told that you can't talk bad about Israel online. If you talk bad about Israel online, you get shadow banned, you get deplatformed. Candace Owens is literally promoted by YouTube, elevated by YouTube. And no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to actually address that.
air. Just because that's true doesn't mean I ignore all this. Is the left using this? And Trump and the FBI covering up what really happened? Yeah, but they're the ones that covered it up, that opened the door for this. I told TPUSA, come out and go after the accomplices. Go out and talk about the FBI cover-up. I told them this days after. I predicted all of this. I said this will bring down TPUSA, and they did not listen to.
What does this look like right here? Looks like she's honoring her late husband. Looks like that's what she's doing.
We'll be right back.
But we're just going to pretend that Erica's coming out there to just, make a name for herself when she's just doing it to honor her husband who came out the same way. And you want to be, again, I think it's probably not the best look either because of the amount of attention that is on the platform right now and the company and everything. But at least let's give it the proper context. I still can't believe Alex played that clip. Holy shit. My apologies to the audience that haven't seen that. I've only seen that like once or twice, and I certainly didn't want to see it again. I can't get Rumble to play for shit though. Rumble's really their player is not great. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Looks like a rock concert. Yeah, and again, I don't disagree with that at all.
TPUSA, which I
am Brockatron for 10 says Alex Jones fell off when he catered to the anti-Israel crowd after losing viewership and being berated for months. Doesn't cover news and make good predictions anymore. He seems to not be himself lately. There's with Alex, it's a tough position to criticize Alex because he's been doing this for so long and he has been an OG and he's been through so much hell and he's carried that torch for so long. And now the thing that Alex Jones was unique in, a lot of people are doing that now. And so it's almost like he's trying to, because so many people are doing what Alex does. Now, it seems like he's having to reinvent or reposition himself so that he can still remain relevant. And I understand that. Graham Robbins says to not show the rest of Alex for him being a piece of shit. I'm going to have just to keep a closer eye on this because that I just cannot believe they showed that, man. I am so disappointed in that. I really am. Scully450 says, hail chat, hail Jeremy. Hope all is well with everyone on this fine Tuesday. It was until we saw that clip of the late, great Charlie Kirk. Why would you show that unedited? Why? Mind blown, dude. I can't believe that shit. That was so out of pocket and unnecessary. Thank you, Scully. I appreciate it. Here we go.
Find really hard to believe they are that tone deaf. But here's a little piece we put together on the eighth front war, the eighth front in the eighth front war that Netanyahu talked about. Then he met with Tim Pool, called him secretly and met, and Tim Pool later admitted, how to deal with the anti-Semitism, which means the anti-war. The rest of it, how to deal with these podcasters, because Israel admits they're losing the eighth front in the war, so they need to use the same.
I think that this is a huge issue. Netanyahu meeting with podcasters, American podcasters. This is a huge, huge issue that everybody should be questioned on that was involved in that shit. So, as much as I disagree with Alex and a lot of stuff, this Tim Pool thing is really weird that they had a private meeting with Netanyahu. Now, I know I think Tim is the one that admitted it to everybody. So fair, I guess, on that front. But yeah, these people meeting with a foreign country's leader here in the U.S. Bullshit.
Energy they use on Hamas on the American people with exploding pagers. That's the head of the ADL. Here's a short compilation.
As you know, a seven-front war, and we've come out in many ways victorious. But there's an eighth front, and that's the front for the hearts and minds of people, especially young people in the West, and for me, especially in the United States, and for me, especially on the conservative wing of the United States. Social media, this is the new battlefield.
I'll just say it, as I've said many times, the mall kiosk guy of world leaders. That's him. He's a mall kiosk world leader.
You have, which is the truth. So what Israel is fighting here is not merely a seven-front war, which I'll have to attend to in a few minutes, but an eighth-front war. It's the war, ultimately, of civilization against barbarism.
But we need the kind of genius that manufactured Apollo gold pagers and infiltrated Hezbollah for over a decade to prepare for this battle. We need the kind of courage that executed Operation Deep Layer inside Syria and destroyed Iranian missile manufacturing capabilities to undertake this mission.
Rome and Jerusalem clashed over values with a great tragedy for the Jewish people. But the new Rome, the United States,
We monitor them online.
The music is pretty funny that they're playing. Hail Marmillan. Yes, I agree with what you're saying right there too. Absolutely disgusting. Wanna wrestle for $1.99 for $1? God, that's terrible. Bill Herb with oranges in the chat. EPO says name two bigger fat disappointments than them. Packy Proton says new gaming channel live, shorter walkthrough videos. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze up now. Tropical Freeze is a great game. W. Porter says someone get these bandwagoners out of here. Josh Rose says seeing it reminded me of how much I hate the fucking left and they cannot be reasonable. This is what they want to do to all of us. I agree. Samuel says I have a question about something Alex and the anti-Israel crowd keeps saying, that they're merging the IDF with our military. Where is the evidence on that? And what are they talking about? Because I call BS. There was some reports about that, and the anti-Israel crowd, which often runs with whatever narrative they want without any relevance whatsoever. And that they basically ran with that narrative that is happening. I don't know if it's happening. I would not anticipate that is happening. They may be merging to work together on certain things, but the anti-Israel crowd throws it out of proportion and blows it out of proportion. And it's to the point where, as I've said many times with the anti-Israel crowd, they can the anti-Israel crowd is well, as much as I call him a mall kiosk guy, they are kind of like the used car salesman. Okay. The anti-Israel crowd is like a used car salesman. You know what it is like with a used car salesman. You can just go look at a used car, and if you give that used car salesman your information, it's over. He will harass you. He will harass your family. He will go to your job. He will harass your children until you buy a fucking car. And so you can talk to an anti-Israel person and you're like, yeah, hey, so I have a few concerns about Israel's involvement in the United States, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are. And they just go fucking ape shit. And they're like, they're responsible for everything. You're like, okay, hold on. I just had a couple questions. They're like, no, you don't understand. They might be listening to us right now. And you're like, what are you talking about? I just had a few concerns about Israel and AIPAC and had a few questions like, let's go underground because they may be listening right now. You're like, okay, you know what? Never mind. I got to go. They're like, where are you going? Are you working for them? Why are you leaving now? Are you involved? You're like, no, I'm just not a fucking lunatic. They're like, oh, so you're working for them. And you're like, holy fuck, never mind. That's kind of how it goes. Yellow Flashes, ask him why he's letting the IDF try and push out Christian Town and West Bank. Fuck Netanyahu. Yellow Flash joining the anti-Israel crowd. And then says, fuck Palestine and Israel. How about everybody but America? How about that? How about fuck everybody but America? That's a better one. Dermy Wormy says, the Jarrett Alex debate was pathetic. Never have I seen a man so willingly debase himself. Well, I'm trying to get through it. What, am I missing something here? Hang on. There we go. Did I mute it?
Moving away from the black hole, this is Charlie Kirk assassination.
The fucking Rumble's video player is not good.
So sad. We can get into that more if you want. Just in general, what do you think Trump should do to try to win the midterms and pivot away? I mean, obviously, in this war, well, Netanyahu doesn't want this war ended.
Well, I think there's a couple of things that Trump could do, but he's running out of time to do it. I think, as I mentioned earlier, perception is reality. And the cost of living, I think, is still more important to more everyday Americans than the Iran issue. I agree the Iran issue is a mess, but that is also contributing to the cost of living. He needs to get a resolution, obviously, as quick as possible, because the price of gas makes the price of everything. Oil, really. Oil is a part of almost everything.
Yellow Flash says, I support Japan, our true greatest ally. Japan don't want 95% of the people in our fucking country in their country. They ain't no ally. Japan actually has shit figured out. Japan doesn't allow diversity in their country. Japan looks at America and says, yeah, this is what not to do with your country. Not letting a bunch of beggars in the country. Now, again, I haven't been there, but I've heard from very, very valid sources that the diversity in Japan is our greatest ally. And you know what I mean by that. Steel Leg of History says, I tagged you with the pic. Be blessed. Thank you. Phil says, did you see that Rosie O'Donnell was taking shots at Trump on Kimmel's show last night? I saw there was a video of her, but I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. But just because I don't pay a lot of attention to her in general, but I can check it out.
Thing we do, and it increases the prices and the cost of living. You mentioned the home prices to most Americans between 18 and 40, and I don't think this is an apolitical poll. The idea, the dream, the American dream of owning a home with a white picket fence seems impossible. And that's why you're seeing so many of these communists. We had one near.
Anybody know, the only reason I know this is because there's so many quartering people now, the A-loggers. And I've always noticed how quartering just turns his head before he talks. He just before he talks, it's almost like he's leaning back to take a big deep breath or something. It's so weird.
Early win here in Wisconsin that won the Democratic nomination. See? That's why I'm talking about what's most important to me is re-galvanizing the biggest voices on the right. Now, I know the right is splintered, but he needs to figure out a way to get the Alex Joneses of the world and the Tucker Carlsons of the world and the Candace Owens of the world to either see that this is a real problem and focus on issues that Americans are really concerned about, or this fracturing is going to cost him the midterms and perhaps the Republicans of 2020.
Okay, so I still am very much of the mindset that while online there's this divide, and it is bad online, I don't know how much that translates to the real world. I really don't. And this is something that I have continued to talk about for years, and it's gotten substantially worse. But the gap between the real world and the online world is massive now. It's absolutely nuts how different perception is in the real world versus online. So is there an online divide? Sure. Okay. Does that really have any impact on how the real world operates? I'm not convinced of that right now. I'm just not. And the idea of having Candace Owens and Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson on the same page, you are not operating in reality. That is never going to happen because these are people that have built platforms up to make millions and millions of dollars, and they are not here to play team politics with Trump. They're just not going to do it. They used Trump to elevate themselves. Once they elevated themselves and they didn't need Trump anymore, they splintered off and they're never coming back. That's the whole point that somebody like the Quartering is missing. A lot of these people used MAGA and used Trump and the Trump phenomenon to build a foundation. And then once they built that foundation, they splintered off into the own direction they wanted to go. They were never really MAGA in the first place.
28 elections. Obviously, there you can say whatever about JD Vance or Marco Rubio as the potential, runners there, but the midterms are not going to go well if things don't get more affordable. That's one of the biggest reasons Trump gets elected, right? Secure the borders. People want more deportations. You can't back down every time there's an optics issue, every time there's another illegal that, gets shot during a stop, he backs off on that. So we're together on that. I think Trump needs to redeploy ICE and stop caring what the media says. He needs to worry about cost of living, and whatever he does, he has to do it quickly because November is coming and it's coming fast. In terms of reuniting the right, I think big voices like you, someone who is a truth seeker, will be more vocal about this op that is happening to divide the right. And we have people saying, I want to vote Democrat. Nick says vote Democrat. We can't do that because we can't take the worst option of the lesser of two evils just to stick it to somebody. That's not.
Listen, I can only call balls and strikes. Quartering is on point right here. He is. Credit where credit's due. What he's saying, he's on point.
Not productive. So I'm hoping after our talk today that you will maybe prioritize the division of the right a little higher than some of the stuff that's currently dividing the right.
Well, I mean, the media focuses on
there.
certain things. I say I've been prioritizing getting Trump back, but you've seen all his statements about affordability is not real. I don't care about Americans' economic plight. I care about the war. I don't care about Medicare.
He's wrong
Medicaid.
about that.
His surrogates saying, who cares about $20 burritos? So I don't see Trump course correcting. I mean, if he doesn't course correct, and maybe there's no time with 2.5 months left, what do you think happens?
If he doesn't course correct, it will be a blue wave at the midterms and we will lose the 2028 elections. Probably, as laughable as this is, to AOC. I mean, we see Democrat operatives like Hassan Piker coming around and supporting Candace Owens. Why? Specifically because she's divided the right.
I mean, and again, this is just one piece of data right here. Okay. So just, you can only take it for what it is, but this is just one piece of data. CNN poll shows Democrats are less popular among voters now than they were in 2018. Negative 25 points.
Democratic brand. Donald Trump's political brand ain't too hot to trot these days. But I got to tell you, PU, when it comes to the Democratic brand, the net favorability rating of the Democratic Party, back in 2018, when Democrats during the first Trump presidency, right, when they were able to win back control of the House, they were even. They were even, right? Favorable minus unfavorable, even at 0-0-0. Now look at this, 25 points underwater. Oof. The Dem brand, as I said, it's not too good these days. It's not too good.
Now, again, that's just one piece of data, but it's, it's interesting data.
And if the right does not regalvanize, and I'm not a big fan of the big tent, but I'm a fan of it when it really matters, when we're talking about the midterms, when we're talking about presidential elections. And if we don't regalvanize and understand that while we're upset about these things, we're letting the other guys win.
This is a pipe dream. This is a fairy tale. He's living in a 90s Disney movie. As the internet grows, as people get bigger followings, as foreign countries are continuing to pour money into large voices, the idea of unification is not happening. If the assassination of Charlie Kirk did not unify the right, nothing will unify the right. And we all looked at the Charlie Kirk assassination and thought, like, this is a moment right here where it can happen. We were all living in a fantasy land because the Charlie Kirk assassination really was more about a point of so many people going in their own direction and creating their own path. Candace Owens being, one of the primary examples of that.
I just don't think that that's a winner strategy. I don't think checking out and getting blackpilled and having people putting out constant demoralizing Americans content out there.
Well, there is a competition to
win.
show how anti-Trump you are. That's not what I've done. But at the same time, you can't cover up Epstein.
Alex, you said he should be 25th Amendment. You and Barnes said he should be tackled in the Oval Office. Yeah, like, what are you talking about? You said Melania was about to divorce him. Like, what are you talking about, Alex?
And say it doesn't exist and you're not MAGA if you believe it. I mean, look what just broke. Palm Beach County Clerk of Courts, Mike Caruso, arrested on child sex abuse charges. Mike Caruso, the Palm Beach County Clerk of Courts, the staunch ally of Florida Ron DeSantis, was charged Tuesday morning on charges linked to child sexual abuse of his grandson, state officials announced. And it just goes on. It just goes on from there. So, Trump, MTG said it. He later said it. Oh, this would embarrass my friends. Ludnick is involved with Epstein, lied about it. Early this morning, with substantial assistance from the FDLE and local law enforcement, Palm Beach County Clerk of Court Michael Caruso was arrested on charges related to child sex abuse. The statement said the investigation is ongoing and we will provide more information to the public at the appropriate time. Why does this keep happening? Just because they control these people, they put them in charge. The suspension order indicated an arrest warrant out of Orange County indicating that Caruso is facing 5 felony charges: kidnapping, lewd or lascivious molestation, lewd or lascivious exhibition, luring or exciting a child, and child abuse, mental injury. The sexual abuse began in 2024, continued until about August 2025, according to probable cause affidavit. The victim of sexual abuse was one of his grandchildren, a boy under the age of 12, according to the affidavit. Caruso has 7 children. I mean, this is just unbelievable. But it's just par for the course.
What?
And I wonder if Trump will tell us that you're not MAGA if you think this exists. What do you think?
Okay, Alex is still running with this. God, Alex is still holding Trump accountable for a sarcastic troll comment towards the Democrats, and he's taking that as gospel. Trump was in office when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. Trump is on record. It's on record that back before Trump was even president, of all of the powerful people that was connected to Jeffrey Epstein, the lawyer that they were interviewing said Trump was the only person that was willing to work with them. Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago because of some inappropriate behavior. All these things are on record. Fucking hell, man.
Well, I certainly think that there's nobody who's been more on the forefront of exposing these creeps on both sides of the aisle in power than you, Alex. And I think the answer to that.
No. Is this so Quartering's doing the whole Alex, you're so great. I appreciate you, Alex. You're the best. You blazed a trail for all of us. You were just calling him out on Twitter.
Is that we push for the prosecution. We cheer for the prosecution of creeps. We celebrate it, but we don't let it distract us from the fact that we're about to lose the country to people who want to put us in camps, to people who want us dead. I think you can hold 2 ideas in each hand.
Wait. He shows his belly. Is that like a figure of speech flash? What are we talking about here? I don't even know if I want to know.
One that says, not happy with the way things are going right now. We haven't really drained the swamp.
Oh, like a dog. Okay, I was about to say. Because, he already offered to wrestle him. I was like, what the fuck? So submission, so says figure of speech. Got it.
Trump's had 2 terms to do it, and he hasn't really done it.
I was about to turn this shit off. I'm like, okay, we're done. We've already had one moment. I'm turning this shit off.
There's a pragmatic side, Alex, that I believe people are missing, and that is by withholding your vote, or, voting Democrat, people have already forgot just how bad 2020 to 2024 was. Most people forgot the lockdowns. Who did that? Democrats locked us down. And so this is the likes of Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, in my opinion, and anybody amplifying their views, which is why I criticized you about amplifying their views, because I think they are, and Marjorie Taylor Greene's another one. I think these people went from diehard MAGA to suddenly America bad. I'm going to start a third party. It all seems, now you're the master of this, put the pieces together. These people are working together to divide America.
Alex has to see through what Quartering's doing. This is very manipulative tactics right now from the Quartering. Alex, you're the OG, you're the greatest, you're the master at this. You've exposed,
America. Trump is far from perfect. In fact, his second term has been largely a disappointment, in my opinion. But the answer is not to support the Democrats, because look at what Hassan Piker, who wants us all dead in the streets, is saying. I love Candace Owens because why? She's dividing the right. And what my goal is to reunite the right and galvanize ourselves, win the election, but then continue to try to.
There's no reuniting the right, man. We live in a decentralized world on the internet, and that is just how it's going to be. The people that you're trying to reunite with were never united with you in the first place. You are chasing people that are not interested in being chased or being connected to you. They are interested in using you or whatever platform they can get to build their own platform. This is a complete nonsensical world that he's trying to live in.
Hold people accountable. The Jeffrey Files release was an absolute debacle. We both agree on that. I happen to think there is no chance Trump is in them. They would have released it while Obama was president. They would have released it when he's running in 2016. They would have released it while Biden was president in 2020 running against him. They had a billion opportunities to release if they had anything on Trump. We agree the deep state is corrupt. They probably destroyed all the evidence. You and I are probably on the exact same page about what really happened on that island. But the facts remain. Trump did nothing, and Trump is not in those files. If he was, it would have been released.
Sure, but Jeremy,
yes,
let me explain something. And you seem like an astute guy, and so I think you're going to get this, or maybe.
Alex introduced this as, I've known him for a long time. We've been on his show. We've known each other for a while. And I was like, you seem like an astute guy.
We disagree. When people would criticize Trump in the last year and a half, even mildly, the surrogates would come out and attack us, the never-Trumpers, mainly the Israeli operatives. Trump would join in on it, then all the influencers would pack on, and people said, screw you. A lot of this isn't because they're getting Qatari money, or they're with Hassan Piker secretly, or they're, vacationing with Hunter Biden. It's that they're overcorrecting to say, fine, we're done with you, and we're kind of subconsciously, maybe consciously, the Democrats want to put us in prison, so let's just be buddies with them and kind of just give up and punch out. Because MTG didn't tell me this, but I knew she was going to resign about a week before. She said, I probably am. I'm just sick of them, demoralized. I'm not going to run again. It's all depressing. They're all corrupt, Democrats, Republicans. I'm just done. And you see her every time. She was a successful lady in business.
Who could blame her?
She's in Costa Rica. She's out on a boat.
John says, this is awful content, Jeremy. I didn't have high hopes for it, okay? I really didn't. I had no idea. I do know MAGA is united, okay? Because We Are Gay, a 3-day conference. This is what MAGA memers are doing right here, dude. This is amazing.
Wherever. I mean, she's on vacation. She's like retired now.
Yeah.
Tucker's told me he never wants to be president and run. He might support somebody to inject new ideas, but mainly talking to Joe Kent and others and him. This is mainly this third party talk, a way to put their platform out to get back control of the Republican Party to what original OG MAGA was. And I agree that if Trump would do olive branches of these people, it would neutralize that energy in a good way. I don't mean like neutralize them, but neutralize it. Like, you put a base in with an acid and then we could off ramp this and then listen to them And he's starting to, go sideways with Israel. He's starting to say Netanyahu is a crook and his own worst enemy and, try to sabotage his peace deals because it's true. And so if Trump came out against the NDAA in the Senate and basically merging us with the Israeli military, and it really says that, it says integrate, fuse, all of it, they'll co-own our weapons, then that would go light years. We need to see real action here. And I agree. I would love to salvage this. And, doesn't mean I endorse the Epstein cover-up, but just for the party itself, it's hurting everything. I would love to see Trump stop pressing on the gas for accelerating this fight. You're telling me to stop the fight. You must not watch the show. This is exactly what I've been saying.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I think one of the biggest mistakes Trump made was leaving X, because during his first term, it felt like he was more in touch with the...
He never left X. Again, are we just not going to have context to any of the shit we're talking about? He was banned off of Twitter. He was banned off of every major social media platform. He now has full control over True Social, which I think is a terrible name, but it doesn't matter. It makes sense as to why he's there. He occasionally will pop back on Twitter and make a post here or there. But what are you talking about, Quartering?
Grassroots, his grassroots baits. You would see, like, he would do something unpopular, he would get shredded on X, and then he would revamp. Now he spends all his time on Truth, where it's essentially an echo chamber.
Well, I can tell you back then, this is even in documentaries, I've talked about else, he really was the guy on the phone reading replies and doing it. Now they say, sir, security, you can't have the phone most of the time. He dictates a lot of it, but a lot of the Truth Social is not him. Okay, and they've admitted that. They've admitted that. So you're right. He's more in a silo now. He's more cloistered.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem, I think. I think we agree, and I think that this is a good common ground, that regardless of whether or not I agree or disagree with this, the Tuckers or the Marjorie Taylor Greens or Candace Owens or whatever, the reality is a lot of their viewers are real, and they were or are former or current Trump voters.
You, knee-high spy.
And Trump does really need to acknowledge it. I'm not saying he needs to just do wholesale. You didn't say that either. You should just maybe look.
Well, that's what they do. Paradox. They say you have no influence, but if we lose, it's your fault. No, these people, especially Tucker. I mean, he's right up there. Yeah. If I had to say, it's Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, and then I'm not trying to be in pole position. I've been number one before. It's not fun, but I'm in the top 10 or so. But consistently, it's Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson. Tucker has more power than he had at Fox, and I told him, this is only in a private conversation, but I said, I get you overcorrected. I think you may have overcorrected.
So let me just say that Joe Rogan is number one. If we're being real about this, Asmongold is number two. And I think Asmongold probably has a little more political influence than Rogan does, even though Rogan has a bigger audience. I think Asmongold is number two. I think Asmongold dwarfs Tucker Carlson in every fucking way possible. I don't think Tucker's on the same stratosphere anymore as Asmon. After that, I don't really know, man. It's a pretty big gap from Joe and Asmon. It's a pretty big gap. I'd have to think about that. I'd have to think about how the rest of that goes.
Corrected with the Hunter Biden fawning, but I said I still respect it, whatever. But remember, these guys would love to put us all in prison and the censorship and the COVID. And I'm not going to say what he said back. It's just that, I mean, I've said it on air, and that's where I stand. But I mean, Tucker is a real guy. Like, oh, he doesn't really hunt. He's not really, no. He is agonized over the fact that he supported Trump. He feels guilty about it. He feels really guilty. He used to be like a neocon pro-war. That drives him. The Tucker you see on air, that's the real thing. He's like a young Santa Claus or something.
I believe that that's the real Tucker. I believe that these people, that there's a kernel of truth to the things that they're saying, but I do believe it's mostly
listen, I've been in his house, his houses, his dad's old house, his house. I've been in his hunting lodges. That's all he does. He knows every hillbilly out there. He's got hunting lodges everywhere. He obsesses and fishes constantly on this. Everything else is a side deal to that. And there's photos and stuff all over when you're in his house of him with his dad when he's a little kid fishing and hunting there. But I hear this like, oh, he's this rich kid. He doesn't really hunt. He doesn't really care. Tucker Carlson, you see. Let me tell you something. I can go to a shooting range with 5 or 6 special ops guys, and I shoot better than almost all of them all the time. Tucker Carlson didn't want it on camera because he goes, well, it's a little too, I don't want to, it's a little bit, a little too militaristic. He can outshoot me, okay? And let me tell you, I'm a sharpshooter.
What does all this have to do with anything?
Buddy.
Yeah, maybe we'll come down there and we'll go to the range together and you can teach me a thing or two. I just think, I know we're running out of time. I think we agree. I think the common ground is that Trump does need to address I don't want to use dissident right because I feel like that has a negative connotation, but there are people on the right who genuinely did support him for a period of time. And
Trump doesn't need to address this shit. What are you talking about? Do you think Trump needs to worry about what a bunch of fucking YouTubers are talking about? What is wrong with you? What do you think he's supposed to do? You think he has time to worry about this shit?
Upset. And I don't think it's valuable for him to, call people low IQ and to go after people like that.
Oh my God. This is what he's been doing his whole fucking life. And now you think it's not it. What are you talking about? It's what Trump does. This is his whole fucking brand. Now he's not supposed to name call people. This is literally what MAGA wants. This is what it was built off of. Is him insulting people.
Who have supported him. The same way, Alex, I think you should pick up the phone and call Tim. I don't think you guys publicly spatting benefits anybody but the left.
This guy says publicly spatting with another creator doesn't benefit this guy. The guy that I sent a message and said, bro, you need someone to check you. Call me. And he blocked me. Those that preach the loudest have the most to hide every fucking time. Are you kidding me? Knee High Spy for 50 says, this is the most FaceTime quartering we'll ever get. Thanks, Jeremy. This is all your fault. It is my fault. It is my fault. But John freaking Murdoch is in the house. Says, hey, Jeremy, thanks for saving me money. Hail Scully. Hail Zwanny. Not sure why you are streaming. I mean, there's nothing going on, right? Hail Snake Pit. Hail and happy Jessica. John, I have been going out of my way to save you money, and I deserve credit for that. I deserve credit and respect, and I thank you for acknowledging my sacrifice. My sacrifice. I think I'm going to start playing Creed, My Sacrifice, in honor of me. And I also think, let's take a page out of the quarterings book. I think that Trump should address the fact that I have saved John freaking Murdoch money, because I think that can help us win the midterms. Trump should acknowledge me going out of my way to save John Murdoch money. Also, since we're talking about the things that Trump needs to address, I think Trump should address the Odyssey. I really do. I think like the only way he's going to win the midterms if he addresses the Odyssey controversy. Like this is the only way we can win, President Trump. I need you to address that. This is the only way. If we're going on quartering's logic, we need Trump to address singular issues that are important to me. Okay? What a retarded statement. Donald Trump needs to address YouTubers being mad at him. What the fuck is wrong with you? Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Let's back this up a little bit.
Supported him and are upset. And I don't think it's valuable for him to, call people low IQ and to go after people like that who have supported him. The same way, Alex, I think you should pick up the phone and call Tim. I don't think you guys publicly spatting benefits anybody but the left.
Well, you know why I went after him? Because I've been thinking privately. I've been too nice to people.
I'll get to that.
He's done some. It was the fact that he was basically dancing on my political grave that wasn't real. And when it had already come out, it was the next problem. Okay.
Okay. So, well, first of all, listen, far be it from me to take up for Tim, but in this instance, regardless of yes, Tim benefited from this. But Tim platformed Alex when it was not favorable at all. He put Alex on a live stream, had 100,000 people watching, And that was a time nobody was having Alex Jones on. And Tim rolled the dice. This was at the height of the banning of Alex Jones and everything. And Tim brought him on live and had 100,000 people watching Timcast. And that to me was the jumping off point of kind of Alex's return to getting back on streams and being back into the sphere. And, you know, so the fact that I know Joe Rogan had him on, but Tim had him on a live stream. And as someone that's been part of multiple live streams that Alex Jones was on, bringing Alex Jones on a live stream is not, it's a very stressful event. It's a very stressful event because you don't know what he's going to say. And you know that you have the eyes of the world on you at all times. And you're like, okay, this is a little. So Tim doing that was a huge, like, he helped Alex a lot. Alex should remember that.
So, and maybe
but that's not what I talked to him. That's not how he feels, Alex. He really doesn't feel that way. He is a strong supporter, and he was genuinely hurt. He was his reply to you was just, I get it. It's acts, not a context comes through and everything. But I mean, do it privately, because I think you and Tim have an incredible long-term. You guys have put out some of the most epic shows in history streaming together. And, you know, I don't think he's against you, Alex. I think that.
Well, I'll tell you what I thought. I'll tell you why I went in and did that last night, like 7 o'clock. I was already tired, but it was 4 a.m. I was pissed off. And I almost didn't do it. But then now his reply about, did I get a call, or clearly I got a call, makes me feel good about it. But,
yeah.
But I'm not a vindictive person. It's that there was clearly bots saying, oh, look, you anti-war guys are unpopular when the pro-war people are unpopular. Everybody knows that. And it looked to me like he just piled on and maybe got the talking point. I'm not accusing him of that, but I don't meet secretly with the Israeli prime minister about propaganda operations.
I know, Alex, I totally, like, dude, nobody is more under attack than Alex Jones. And anybody, even if they're providing, you know, harsh criticism or sharp criticism.
He's doing everything he can to gas up Alex. Nobody's under more attack than Alex Jones. You're the man. You're the OG. No one's exposed more things than you.
Or maybe it's sarcastic and it doesn't come across right. Like, I think you and Tim should, will you give Tim a call later and just sort this out? Are you open to that? Because we need you. Even if Trump isn't our guy, we're going to have a new president in 2020.
Well, sure. In the interest of not infighting, I mean, I won't do that. But I you know, I've already said a lot of mean things about Tim, and just maybe I just want to have a big war. Maybe I'm in Godzilla mode, but we'll see. Hold on, Salty Cracker. You need to come on the show because for whatever retard thing, I know two different people. I had a brain fart and called you Salty Cracker when I know you're the quartering. I want.
Arrest my case, man. Arrest him.
I mean, I won't do that, but I you know, I've already said a lot of mean things about Tim, and just maybe I just want to have a big war. Maybe I'm in Godzilla mode, but we'll see. Hold on, Salty Cracker. You need to come on the show because for whatever retard thing, I know two different people. I had a brain fart and called you Salty Cracker when I know you're the quartering. I want to have both you guys on together soon because I'm a fan of both your shows. Stay right there, though. Do a few more minutes with us before I come back in the next hour. I have a special guest in studio, but will you do like 15 more minutes with us?
I said again, sometimes it's very, very tough to be ahead of the curve, but I've been saying this for over a year now. This was my theory. I theorized on this, and yes, confirmation.
I need to get into the new studios that are getting completed. I need to hire more crew. I need to get more reporters. I need to get more hosts. We're going to go bigger than InfoWars ever was. Wait till you see these announcements. It's just held up for legal reasons right now. It's very exciting. We're having big victories, but we need funds. So I bring you whatever's the coolest, whatever's the hottest, whatever's the highest rated. We have the new ready gun mount.
All right, let me fast forward through his ad reads here. Holy crap, I was not prepared for that. That was amazing. Like when he just said Salty Cracker out of nowhere. There was no lead up to it. He just like full stop, like Salty Cracker. You're like, whoa, what's happening? What are we talking about anymore? It's so great, dude. Jeremy, you got to make a clip of those. Danky, you're going to have to find it, man. There's like a whole clip. There's a lot to this. So I may have to help Danky find some of those clips.
Including Andrew. Who knows?
Come on. Let's get to the final segment with the quartering.
Jeremy, what's fancy steak dinner? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh boy, here it is.
First of all, I'd love to go to that. I see that's down in Dallas, so maybe we can meet up there, and you could take me out for a fancy steak dinner, and we can wrestle or something like that. But I mean, I think that America needs Christ right now. I happen to believe that there is something at a large scale. I know not everybody's religious, but like at a demonic level. And what's happening is, while we're all infighting, the Democratic Socialists of America are gaining power. It used to be fun to laugh at all the crazy, insane things that somebody like Hassan Piker.
I can't wait for Kino Casino to react to this. And PPP's like, he's gay. He likes to wrestle with men. Oh, I can't wait to hear that one.
Said and did, but he helped get Zoran Mamdani elected. He helped get a Muslim socialist as the Democratic nominee in Michigan. He helped a Democratic socialist narrowly lose before the Democrats had another 1 a.m. Vote dump in Milwaukee that got their establishment Democrat in. Hopefully Tom Tiffany will win in Wisconsin, but I don't know. The Democratic Socialists of America used to be something we'd make fun of, but I think it's a massive mistake for Americans to continue treating them like a joke. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is the current frontrunner to win the Democratic nomination. Now, I don't think she could win as president, but I didn't think Kamala Harris stood a chance either. People are still largely, red till I'm dead or blue no matter who. And if a Democrat socialist runs under blue, they get votes. And we used to have guys like Bernie Sanders that we'd all laugh at because he never actually achieved anything and he just bought more houses. But this is a real force. This force is basically Antifa and the far left that have been killing us in the streets. That's who these people are. And they're gaining more and more power in this country. I talk about on my show, by the way, during the day a lot. And it's scary. People are not paying enough attention to the fact that, we all laugh at Ilhan Omar, but she won her primary in a landslide. These people aren't going anywhere. And the more time, again, I keep bringing it up because it's my most important issue. The more time we spend infighting, the more power they get. The left has never polled lower in favorability. I saw a new report this morning than, I don't know, maybe in the last 20 years. I don't know what the time frame was. Yet they are still winning local elections. People are going further and further left. And we talked about earlier, I think Trump can slow the bleed by delivering affordability to Americans. Not making
Let's
fun
talk
of us
more
for saying
about that.
burritos shouldn't
60-second
be 20.
break before we join hundreds of stations that don't carry the first five. Stay right.
Another break? Oh my God. This is worse. This is worse than the fucking PBD debate.
Jeremy of the Quartering, we've been debating and discussing cordially here today.
You have not. There's been no debate. This hasn't been a fucking debate. This has been Quartering gassing you up and trying to make you think that you're just the greatest, Alex. I love you so much, and we need you back, and we need to unite the right.
You think that's just trolling, or what do you think's behind that? And then again, what does? You were starting to answer it, I think, really eloquently. What comes out of that?
Well, first of all, minor update. It's coffeebrandcoffee.com. Sorry, I just want to correct the URL if people want to check it out. Sorry, I'm a shameless shill if nothing else. I too am supported exclusively by my viewers. But
beautiful.
I think, look, I think it's trolling, but second term Trump, sometimes I can't tell the difference. And I think if people
welcome to an artist and his masterpiece. If you can't tell the difference in trolling, that means he's phenomenal at it. You just complimented him is all you did. And that's the beauty of it. If you pay attention to Trump enough, you actually do know. And this is where it comes down to, if you don't actually watch him and if you don't pay attention, then you can't actually tell the difference. It's like people with me, the people that watch CobraCast know that most of my shit about like leaning into stuff, it's just sarcasm, and it's meant to trigger people that don't understand it. And I do like when I see people that are other places complaining about me. Dude, on Gary's live stream on Nerdrotic Live, the top comment that I saw was someone mad at me. I don't think Gary talked about the Odyssey or me. Fuck it, I'll go show you. The top comment on his live stream last night was someone crying about me. About my Odyssey takes. I'm like, this is fantastic. Hang on, let me see if I can find this shit. And then they were like, I'm glad he's not on FNT, fucking piece of shit. Oh my God. I was like, yes, it is working. Hang on. We pull this up. So Nerdrotic at night, last night. YouTube makes it very difficult to find comments these days. Okay, right here. Top comment. I heard Jeremy defended the Odyssey at least a dozen times today. He gets mad while doing it, and his anger makes me happy. Really glad I haven't seen his face in a month. People complain about nearly every member of FNT, but I think we all come together and agree that Jeremy is trash, and the show would be better without him. The best part of defending Nolan is that Nolan absolutely hates everything he stands for. Jeremy is the pumpkin spice of panelists, actually enjoyable in small doses at the appropriate time and utterly obnoxious when it's more than that. This is the top comment on Gary's fucking stream. It's crazy. Why? I don't think it was even a topic. Maybe it was. I didn't hear it. But like, that's why I'm doing it. To upset motherfuckers.
People can't tell the difference, even your supporters. You should probably cut it out. I think life after Trump.
So let's go back to the.
I think.
Right here.
Look, I think it's trolling, but second term Trump, sometimes I can't tell the difference. And I think if people can't tell the difference, even your supporters, you should probably.
Bullshit. Dude, his supporters know when he's trolling, quartering. That's the fucking point. All of Trump's supporters knows when he's trolling, and he trolls a lot. That's the point. The people that don't pay attention to him consistently know that, or they can't tell. The people that aren't paying attention consistently can't tell, but the people that are always watching him know what he's doing.
Probably cut it out. I think life after Trump, it could go one of two ways. It depends, obviously, what happens in the midterms. What I'm mostly afraid of is that the Republicans get blown out in the midterms, and then Trump doesn't even have the votes to fix anything that he promised to. Remember the last.
So I don't, with the midterms, I have no idea. I cannot predict the midterms right now. We're less than 3 months out, and I cannot predict them. I wish I could. You guys know I like predicting things, you know, like box office and elections and all that. I don't have a good handle on this. I really don't know. And I don't want to just throw something out there. Like, obviously, my gut feeling is that, Trump's going to win the midterms. That's my gut feeling, but I'm not as confident to just say that and go like, oh, it's going to be a grand slam. Like, I do feel good about it, but I'm not overly confident at this point in time, because even though I think that there's a gap between the real world and the internet, the Iran war is a problem in a lot of people's minds. Whether that's, whether it's valid or not is irrelevant. People's feelings are people's feelings. Even if we may not agree with their feelings or how they come to those conclusions, it doesn't matter. People's feelings are their feelings. And I can't tell. If I was to have to gun to my head, I would say that it's a slight victory for the red. I don't think we're looking at a red wave, and I don't think you're looking at a blue wave. But I really can't predict it right now.
Last term, remember how suddenly he cared about internet censorship when he got banned from X? But it was the end of his first term, and he couldn't do anything about it. And then he was getting constantly impeached. That's what my biggest fear is with the midterms. If the Republicans get blown out in the midterms, and maybe they deserve it, I don't know. But if they do, then Trump will have no chance to fix anything. So that's why I'm hoping, praying, doing what I can to try and unite people to say, like, we need to give Trump more time. I think he means well. Now, after him, I don't know. Who do you get? Probably J.D. Vance running for the Republicans. And one major thing I want to bring up, and I think maybe I wanted to get your take on this. A big mistake the Republicans have made after Trump won was checking out and pretending like the culture war was won. Meanwhile, I don't think the culture war has been won at all. It's raging just as much as it ever has been. And if we get, I don't know if it's going to be AOC or Kamala Harris, those are probably the two most probable to run against. And if one of them wins, people thought woke one was crazy.
Bro, that's again, this opens up a whole different discussion about things. AOC and Kamala, if that's your front runners, I think that answers your question as to, are the Republicans in trouble? And right now, those are the only prominent names that you have, along with Gavin Newsom. And I don't think Gavin plays nationally as well as maybe even I believe that he played, because, if you go back to, prior to 2024, I really felt like Gavin Newsom played well nationally for Democrats. I don't know if I feel confident about that anymore. I think Gavin Newsom turns off a lot of people nationally. And so if Kamala and AOC are your front runners, Republicans are in pretty good shape.
Wait till the Democrats control the Senate, the House, and the presidency. I think it's extremely dire. And that's why I'm going so hard and trying to mend bridges and try to encourage.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Wait, weren't yours and Gary's channels dying because the culture war was over? That's a very interesting point that you bring up right there.
Urge you to call Tim when you get some free time later, and hopefully reunite people and under the banner of saying, yeah, it hasn't been great.
This is a guy who blocked me when I said, call me and let's talk about our issues. He blocked me. This is the same guy who's virtue signaling publicly saying, we don't need to be fighting, guys, because why? Because what ultimately, what Quartering wants, and I'm just going to tell you, like, what he wants is he wants to be credited with, merging that gap between two prominent personalities. Because really what the Quartering cares about is the fact that Tim Pool and Alex Jones are massive names. And if he can have massive names that he's connected to, and if he's helping bridge that gap, he gets credit for it, because all he really cares about is subscribers and views and prominence and all of that shit. That's what this is about. This isn't about mending fences. This isn't about bringing people together. This isn't about, unifying the right. This is about him getting credit for two big personalities and mending fences. And he wants to be at the center of that. That is what this is about. Because that's how he views everything. He views everything through a lens of how many subs does this person have? What type of prominence does this person have? Okay, I can listen to this person. Oh, you don't have a big following? We don't really care about you.
I know this isn't exactly a great sales pitch. It hasn't been great, but it could have been so much worse, and it will be so much worse if we stay divided.
Well, just imagine what the Democrats are going to do if they win the House and Senate, which is, I think, a probability right now. I mean, break down what you think they're going to do. And then you say, well, even we'll lose 2028. A lot of times, though, they'll be so horrible and so evil, people kind of remember that and go back to being Republican. And then all these other people, like Nick Fuentes, I respect a smart guy, but he goes, oh, you're being conned again. No, I'm not being conned again when they are absolutely Islamicist, communist, pedophile, Satan-worshiping, just destroy America people. And then I'll work with what I've got with Republicans. There's a lot of good state Republicans, a lot of good national ones. We've got a beachhead there. But then I watch the Republicans screw themselves and us over, and I'm even more pissed at them than they join up with Israel to bash us that are trying to stop this horrible war. And it just pisses me off. I don't blame people that get blackpilled and just throw their hands up. So give us your take on what the Democrats are going to do.
Well, I think if the Democrats win, what you're going to see is a massive undoing. I mean, I think people want Trump to deport more, but the fact of the matter is he has been deporting a lot. They're going to completely undo that in record time. Look at cities like Dearborn, Michigan, Muslim centers that are in Texas.
I thought this was a debate. I thought this was a debate.
Texas, of all places, you're going to have these Muslim enclaves in every major city in America. You're going to be importing people completely unfettered at a rate that we have never seen before, because that's how the Democrats continue to secure power. That's why all these DSA people, these Muslim people that are running for political power, they run under the Democrat banner because they know Republicans would never vote for them.
I did notice the 199 in your name on that comment. I'd noticed it. I was like, we got some 199 here.
It is going to be a level of woke, a level of oppression, a level of actual fascism that we've never witnessed probably since the lockdowns during 2020. This is bigger than arguing even about Charlie Kirk's assassination. This is a bigger fight than even the 2024 election was, because way more is on the line, because way more far leftist ideologies are gaining power.
You guys think he's reading notes? Because quartering on streams is painful. Do you think he's got notes in front of him and he's reading all of the like some general talking points? I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with that, but it does feel like he's got talking points
across this country. They are getting enclaves, even here in the Midwest. I mean, who would have thought Wisconsin, Texas, Michigan would have these towns with Arabic street signs? That's not the America I want to live in. That's not the America Alex Jones wants to live in, I'm sure. And if we stay apathetic and we get blackpilled, I fight against it so much. I understand, like you do, it's easy to get blackpilled because we haven't, I mean, it hasn't felt good probably since the Doge days, the first couple weeks, of the Trump presidency. Then everything fell apart. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is that, yeah, okay, if you didn't like Trump, well, you don't have to vote for him anymore.
Okay. Can I just say what he's trying to say without being politically correct bullshit? Okay. Hey, Trump's the president. He's the greatest president in our lifetime. He's the most consequential political figure in our lifetime and one of the most consequential political figures in history. No one turns the needle like this guy. He has reset the entire political order in this country. You may not like some of the things he does, and I don't fucking care. He's the best option by a fucking mile. And either you need to get with the program or you can continue to squirm and whine and cry. Nobody's going to give a shit. But we need to move forward with or without you. Trump is going to be Trump, whether you like it or not. There's no apologies. There's no crying. This is MAGA. MAGA is actually more unified than it has been, period. You may have this idea that MAGA is broken and all of this. It's not. It's bullshit, and you're being lied to and you're being misled by people that were never MAGA to begin with. They're a bunch of bandwagoners who jumped on the MAGA train because it was the hottest thing going and nothing was stopping it. And once Trump won and once he got into office and once some of that shine was off the shoe, those people jumped ship. Fuck them. We don't need them. And guess what? At the last second, they'll jump back on when they need to because they don't have enough relevancy on their own. But we're going to continue to move forward. MAGA's going to move forward. Trump has made some mistakes. We've criticized him for it, and we'll continue to do that. But at the end of the day, we're not libertarian bitches who are like, oh, one thing, and I'm going to have to jump off the fucking ship. Welcome to the real world, where if you agree with somebody 90% of the time, that's a pretty good fucking track record. So that's what we have in MAGA. We don't love literally everything Trump does, but we love about 90% of what he does, and 90% is pretty fucking good. Welcome to the real world. You're not going to agree with 100% of the time. Get on the train or shut the fuck up. That's it. No, Quarter's like, oh, we need to unify and we need to sell coffee. Shut the fuck up.
It's going to be so much worse. Just think of Kamala Harris's word salads running, in the White House. We have to refocus and understand the bigger picture that maybe the second Trump term didn't turn out how we liked, but we picked the right guy the next time while still holding people accountable. I think we should still primary people who are not America first. I think this idea of crossing over or withholding your vote is exactly what the left wants you to do. It is a demoralization operation run by several people. I've already mentioned it. I don't think that they're getting paid by anyone. I'm not making that claim, but it's curious to me why these videos seem to always be trending on YouTube. It's curious to me why they seem to get, put up to the, in the X algorithm. I think and I believe that there is a concerted effort to demoralize the American right.
I don't know why there's Home Depot footage.
In a moment when after Charlie Kirk's assassination, we should have been blowing them out. We should have been putting them on.
I'm going to be careful. The Charlie Kirk name came up. I want to make sure Alex doesn't play that clip again or his team.
In prison. We should have been, just completely destroying the left. And somehow, inorganically, in my opinion, now the right has spent the last year arguing with itself instead of worrying about other things. And like you said, like we can't have the administration coming out and saying, we don't care about your $20 burritos. That's insane. That's like as bad Muslims as Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables kind of stuff. People remember that. Americans are struggling. $4 to $7 a gallon per gas. It is too much. Trump has to course correct. And if he doesn't, we'll probably get total Democrat leadership in 2028, which would be disastrous. It could be the destruction of this country.
I agree with that, except then you have the Israel lobby basically being Trump's brain.
Israel, you got to bring Israel back into it. You got to bring
viciously coming out and the neocons attacking anybody that even mildly criticizes what Trump's doing, trying to get him back on track, joining in, and that only supercharges the other side.
Exactly.
That's because the Israel lobby wants to fully take over MAGA. They want to demoralize, and they want to run out all of Trump's supporters. So you miss that fact. You miss Trump. He called me low IQ and a burnout. Okay, great. But I'm not an emotional person, but I thought it was funny. I love stuff that makes.
No, you did. Alex, you know that bothered you, brother. You know it bothered you.
Joining in, and that only supercharges the other side. And that's because the Israel lobby wants to fully take over MAGA. They want to demoralize, and they want to run out all of Trump's supporters. So you miss that fact. You miss Trump. He called me low IQ and a burnout. Okay, great. But I'm not an emotional person, but I thought it was funny. I love stuff that makes fun of me and everything because I know who I am. My issue was with a lot of people, the attacks were much worse. That they're traitors, they're scum, all of that. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene was mildly criticizing him, and then he started calling her traitorous scum and stuff.
She called him a pedophile, Alex.
Yeah, she said he's protecting them.
Again, man, this is selective bullshit.
I mean, I'm just saying, I think here's how I think you've got the train of events wrong there. Maybe she said she was protecting them. I have to. Maybe you're correct on that. Your memory is far better than mine. Here's what I'll say. Well, Trump is protecting people that lied about deep relationships with Epstein, and he is. So is every president. Yeah, I mean, so is the FBI. So is Kash Patel. We agree on that. And Trump was supposed to be different. I know he was. I oppose those other presidents. I mean, if I support what he didn't have to say stuff like, if you believe Epstein.
Okay. I can only talk about what I know from a common sense level. Just because you assume that someone was connected to Epstein doesn't mean that you can arrest them and charge them and put them in prison. You actually have to have a paper trail. You actually have to have legitimate evidence to incriminate these individuals. Trump doesn't have the ability to just go, hey, you might have been involved with Epstein based on some rumors on the internet. We're going to arrest you. That is not how the real world works. You actually have to have evidence. These are powerful people with a ton of fucking money and resources. You have to be able to prove their guilt in a court of law. This is not some fucking, like, oh, let's just arrest all these people because the internet wants us to. What are we fucking talking about?
Isn't a hoax. You're not MAGA. It was just the dumbest stuff ever. I know, but I think I interpreted that as
his involvement in it, him being in the files, but maybe he did mean it's a hoax.
No. I mean, I understand he
either.
meant his involvement. Now the Democrats were looking at it was a hoax.
Then why are you constantly claiming that he meant it in another way, Alex? You knew exactly what Trump meant when he said it's a hoax. We all did. We all knew what Trump was saying.
Then you counter it. But no, he wanted to protect Lex Wexner and Howard Lutnick and people.
All these people.
Yeah.
Probably. I'll even concede that point.
So what do we know? And I'm asking this genuinely. I'm not sarcastically or rhetorically asking this. What do we know about Howard Lutnick and his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein? What do we know? We know that they had a relationship, right? We know that they were neighbors. That's what we know, right? Do we have any evidence of him doing anything criminal with Jeffrey Epstein? We have zero fucking evidence. So what do you want Trump to do?
But to the neocon attacks and to the pushback, I would say that's when you double down, Alex. This is what you're best at. When they attack you, you just come back twice as hard. The conversations on X are not real life. And when the neocons come out and say you're a traitor for criticizing him, ignore it. You get criticism more than anybody on the planet. You know exactly how to do that. I think that if you speak to the needs of the American people, the real needs, the cost of living crisis, all this kind of stuff, the long tail of that is you will be proven right. The jar will continue to overflow for you, Alex, if the Alex Jones was right jar. The infighting stuff, it's not going to accomplish anything. And, you know, when I didn't know how I was going to come in here to this conversation, I prayed on it this morning. And
I don't even need to address that comment.
And I'm really glad that it's gone the way that it's gone. And I think we both see each other's position much better after this than just X conversations. But I think that these attacks from the establishment should be met with, you know, local movements to get them voted out and to organize. And then the best organization to do that would be, of course, TPUSA. And by attacking them, I'm not saying you are, attacking the movement, there are many on the right that do, but you aren't. Attacking them, they're our best shot at primarying out some of these dorks. And if we can't primary them out, then, I don't know what, I don't have the answer for that, but I think that it's better than blackpilling because voting still works. Donald Trump won in 2016 and he won in probably, some people say 2020, but then
I just want this to end.
Now, was his second term great? It hasn't been. But
we're going into an economic disaster, and even if it happens after the midterms, I think it will probably happen right after them. We're already in it, but it's going to be very clear then. This is just bad news, and the messaging has just been terrible about we don't care about your economic problems. It's been absolutely terrible. All right, well, Jeremy from The Quartering, thequartering.com,
Cracker, Friday Night Tights.
Rumble, The Quartering. Very interesting discussion, and I appreciate you joining us today to discuss it.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for having me on, Alex. Call. You're going to call Tim, right? You call Tim? Come on. Put Godzilla, use Godzilla for somebody who isn't, 95% on your side. You're Godzilla. He's Mothra. No,
he's Godzilla. This is right here. I'm fighting Tim Pool. Right? This is actual. This is not AI. This is real. Okay.
Yeah, I saw it on the news this morning. It's 100% real. Please at least consider it because we need you guys united, even if you disagree on this one issue. I can't say if he'll come on and talk to you or not.
I'm a gorilla. Murder yourself.
Alex, it's been great. I hope you'll consider it. And
hey, look, I just kicked Tim Pool's ass. That's real footage, folks.
There you go. The fight's over. Now what happens after a fight?
Paid for by Qataria.
Alex.
The Qatarians paid for it.
Now you fought and now you shake hands. And that's what real fighters do.
I don't think Tim wants that. I think he's going to want to strike back.
No, I think he would. I think he would be very open to it. I mean, if he strikes back, Alex, then go double Godzilla, nuclear Godzilla. But I just think we need your voice is so important. And we need criticizing Trump.
Well, according to Tim, I have no audience anymore because I'm anti-war. The war is super popular, which is just pure crap. That's why I thought it was a talking point. It looked like a talking point. It was put out by everybody else. That's why I got pissed. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
And I owe it to Salty Cracker for saying he's the same guy. They don't really look the same. I'm kind of retarded. As I said, I know that I know nothing, to quote Socrates. All right, let's stop right there. Here's what I've got. I'm not up here even trying to bash Israel constantly, but Israel's so out of control.
Holy shit, man. That was a wild ride right there. That was a wild ride. I don't even understand. Jeez, man. Alex, Trump hasn't done enough because this rando judge was a creep and he didn't know. Therefore, Trump bad because only 98% border crossings dropped, deportations up, net negative migration. Not enough. It's never enough with Trump. Never enough. We got Disco Stew for 20 says the picture of Az and Gary is gayer than all pictures of Beardo, even with his flavor saver beard. It is a pretty bad picture. It definitely is. Scully for 50 says that you have the flair for the F word. You crack me up. I really like saying the F word a lot. Both of them. Thank you, Scully. PMCCB says, I almost missed Jared talking about the Odyssey. Almost. You see, my plan is working. My plan. See, we went from stop talking about it, don't ever mention it. Now we're getting $20 super chats saying, I kind of miss you talking about it. Give it time. Give it time. Thank you, BMCCB. It's McDouble says, here's some money for your dying channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's McDoubles. Mar Millen says, as a Michigander, since the 80s, fuck off with this. Dearborniston was becoming big in the 90s. The Muslims took that over forever. They more recently took Hamtramck from the Polish as well. I think I got that. I think I got all of that. Thank you, Mar Millen. Hail to you. Marmillan says, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Dan Crenshaw who lost and is a neocon who said that about the $20 burrito? That's not the Trump administration. Quarter Pounder does it again. Can somebody give us a fact check on that? Can somebody give us a fact check on that? I'll let the chat confirm that one or not, because I am not positive on that. Lapco says, carefully timed and valued to barely bump you into the next tax bracket. Satisfying, but I need a better hobby, I guess. That's for $12.81. $12.81. Fact check is correct. Says Justin is side questing. So there you have it. Okay. Thank you. So thanks for confirming that from Marmillan chat. Crenshaw did complain about inflation under Biden. The Odyssey made a lot of money, which is why movies exist. Oh, it made a fuck ton of money. It's going to pass. It should pass Deadpool and Wolverine today for the highest grossing rated R film of all time. But it was going to flop, guys. It was going to flop. It was going to underperform. Knee-High Spy for $100 says, we're expecting a reverse super chat for making us watch that, Jeremy. A reverse super chat. You know, I think you all have earned a reward. I think you've all earned it, and I am here to show.
I am in some new Do What Makes You Naked pieces. This is just a romper. I got a mic on me. And then this is a little, like, ballet wrap. And then I've got a scoop neck underneath.
I don't care if it's AI or not. I have no idea, and I don't care. I do not care. Thank you for the 1281 Lapco, the carefully thought out 1281. All worth it for the salty pull. Exactly. Exactly. I need to talk to Salty about this. I need to ask him about this. Again, John, thank you for the proper 199. And I didn't honor your proper 199 earlier, so we'll honor it with America's ass. Okay? Boom. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good right there. Proper 199s everywhere. Okay? There you have it. I didn't forget. Yellow Flash says, I'm a single issue voter on the gender stuff. I will never vote left. You and me both. Bill Herb says, people seem to just want Israel to burn than actually try and improve things. Also feels like such a psyop to divide the people. I mean, I think that there's a lot of forces involved with this for sure. But I'm not going to get, you're not going to pull me into it. I think it's cringe more than anything. Yellow Flashes, quartering can't even find Iran on a map, but wants people to take his geopolitical takes serious. Lamau. Well, to be fair, a lot of people that are anti-Israel don't know anything about Israel either. Like most of them never been to it. I've never been to it. And that's why I don't really talk about what I do or don't know. And yet you have all these people like, I'm something of an Israel expert myself. And you're like, no, you're not. You really aren't. It's just like all these people that suddenly like, I'm something of an Odyssey expert myself. Me and Homer go way back. Like you've never talked about Homer's Odyssey until this movie came out. Like, oh yeah, I'm something of an Odyssey expert myself, actually. I like the comment the other day when somebody's like, watch the 97 Odyssey movie. You mean the one with the black woman as Calypso? And they're like, well, Dumbo Bear says, remember when everyone was against Islamic terror? And then they started paying some good money. Want to wrestle for $1 says, nothing. Thank you. Madney says, Hambly is our only hope for the midterms. Yes. Hambly, if Jeremy Hambly can save us, like if he can unify the right, okay, we will all be saved, all right? It's up to the quartering. He's going to make YouTube shorts where he's going to say, what are the oranges for? And he's going to get more people voting. And it's going to be amazing. He's going to fundamentally change the country. Yellow Flash says, loved that tax return Trump gave me. Hail Trump. We got John freaking Murdoch says, wait, you've never been to Israel? What about the Whizzing Wall? Damn. Sometimes my sarcasm gets in the way and I don't stay consistent with it. Yeah, we're gonna strike that one from the record. Yes, I've actually been to Israel many times. I was I got busted for peeing on the wall. Again, I thought it was the Whizzing Wall. You can't get mad at me. I didn't know. Damn it. John got me on that one. Knee High Spy says, okay, you win. See there? You love to see it. We got NPC Heroes says, quartering took a break from Reddit to be on this show. Let's give him some credit. Madman says, Lamau, PPP, and Worski are losing their fucking minds. Oh, they're gonna go crazy over that one. You know it. Arm514 says, well, Alex is gone. He's paid off. Tucker has been proven actually never supported Trump in text. These two drugged up loons need to just F off. It is I don't want to sound like a broken record, man, but things are crazy right now and it's going to get even worse. We are, as we move to the midterms, and then after the midterms, whatever happens, it's going to get even wilder, man. And I do think a lot of people are repositioning themselves for a post-Trump political world. And you don't have it's like this. All I can do is relate to what I know. Okay. A singular figure can transform everything. So, like, for instance, I'm an Alabama fan, lifelong Alabama fan. I was a Bama fan before Saban. I'm a Bama fan after Saban. You can't even process the difference in the perception of Alabama football before Saban was there, and then Nick Saban was there, and it was like perennial domination, contender, national championships, Heisman trophies, top draft classes, NFL prospects on it going out every year and just funneling more in. Now that Saban's gone, it's unrecognizable. The University of Alabama is unrecognizable. That's what's going to happen when Trump is not in politics, and people are not ready for that. They're not prepared for that. It will fundamentally change everything. It'll change your perception of JD. It'll change your perception of Rubio. It'll change your perception of every single political figure on the right, because they no longer have that guy that is going to fundamentally change everything. He's gone. So we're not prepared for that. Nobody is. I'm not. I don't know what it's going to look like. Cucker Tarlson says, I can verify Jones has been to Cucker Cabin. Philip Butler says, Alex and Quartering fake fight for clicks. Mr. Bentham says, Trump needs to address Jeremy not streaming enough. Wanna wrestle 199 for $1. Tay says, talk about Adventures Doomsday. Mr. Bentham says, Alex definitely believes Quartering runs F&T. I think he does. Philip Butler says, how much is Mossad paying you to broadcast this? Not enough. The Fantastic OG says, does the Quartering know the meaning of quartering is torture, pulling a person apart? Want to wrestle 199 for $1. SBZ says, seriously, Trump needs to pick up the phone and address the infighting between F&T and D-Day Cobra. He should already know this only benefits the left. One of these days, he's going to have to address this. Donald Trump has to address the important issues. Yellow Flash says he wants Tim's audience so bad. That is true. This is 100% accurate. Quartering wants Tim's audience. If you remember, and some of the Quartering A-loggers are going to know this better than me, but when Tim had that swatting incident live on Timcast, and there was like 20 or 30,000 people watching Timcast empty studio while the police came to his property and they all had to exit. You had 20 or 30,000 people watching a empty studio. Quartering was in the live chat, sending big super chats, advertising his coffee company. Like, am I right about that, Quartering A-loggers? I'm pretty sure I'm right about that, correct? I'm almost positive that's how it went. And it's just like, so this dude just got swatted live, and Quartering was like, let me make this about me. Let me promote to Tim's audience. Yep. The problem is the Quartering is dumb and can't read articles. Tim can, so they leave immediately. Dynamics is just saying, hey, Tax. Well, thank you. Golden Nugget says, I disagree with you at times, but at least you aren't fake. F the fakening. Thank you, Golden Nuggets. I don't want people that agree with me. I like it when people disagree. I like it when people don't know, like, they're like, what is he going to think about this? I want people to be curious about that. So, All the Mo Kisses says, I'm not the biggest fan of dumb Jeremy. He's not articulate and his words run together, and it's as if he's allergic to enunciation. Ick, I quit. Well, I thought you were a fan, All the Mo Kisses. Sorry. I mean, I thought we were cool, but I guess not. So I know you're talking about the Quartering. I know. I'm not trying to force you to send another super chat. Lapco says, am I the only one that wants to see Jared return to the Home Depot and answer the questions? Excuse me, do you work here? Is this drain cleaner? Is this a drain cleaner? Man, working at Home Depot was torture at times. But the funniest thing about working at Home Depot, and again, I did work at Home Depot, the funniest thing was, for whatever reason, if you're wearing a Home Depot apron and you're an employee there, these people that know far more about construction than anyone in the store, they automatically think you have all the answers. So they just walk up to you and they ask you these in-depth questions about building a foundation or roofing a house or, drywall, building walls. And you're like, so sometimes we would just bullshit people. We're like, well, if you take this one right here and you just like, and they're like, thanks, man. I'm like, you know more about this than me. You do it for a living. I'm a retard with a fucking apron on. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But they just think like, hey, this guy works here. He must have all the answers. The Bella Stella says the quartering is the new great unifier with oranges. Damn right. Thank you, Bella Stella. Let's see. Arm514 says, I live in Cali. What freaking $20 burrito? If there was one, it'd be here. And for fuck's sake, the jaws are not the root of everything ever done. You mean the Jews, not the jaws. There you go. Madney says, you love Israel. You stand with Israel. Did you know your money can now stand with Israel too? Visit Wise Israel today. When he did that, as the Israel ad read was the greatest shit I've ever seen, man. Alex Aerocave says, just voted wearing a G&G shirt. Meta PC code 199. Hail to you. It is voting day here in Florida. Odin, the German Shepherd, says, CobraCast is the real news. Let's fucking go. Let's see. Yellow LARP. Is that Flash? Who is this? If Christopher Nolan's name wasn't attached to the fuck-ass movie, The Wokeracy, it would have flopped. It's interesting how that's not that's more goalpost shifting. His name was attached, and everyone said it would flop or underperform. His name was attached. But now it's like, well, if Nolan wasn't involved, that's not the discussion. You're changing the argument. His name was involved. The ticket prices were always the ticket prices, and people were like, it's going to make 800 million. It's barely going to make it might lose a little money. It's like, dude, you guys just can't accept like that you're wrong. Simple as that, And again, I will play this right here, not play, but oh man, have they changed this up on Twitter? They have changed this up on Twitter. Oh, right here. Look at that. Look at that. Will the Odyssey flop on Gary's poll? 73% said it would flop. 21,000 votes. Yes, it'll flop. It's going to make $1.7 billion fucking dollars. Well, it's only because of the ticket prices. It's only because of Nolan. Nolan was attached when this poll came out. Ticket prices were the same. I was right. You're welcome. And it just continues to perform better and better every single week. It ain't slowing down, boys. James says, all these rats are abandoning ship because of the historical precedent on midterms. I really hope Trump pulls this off like he did with the 2025 election to silence the Dems and silence the rats. Listen, this is the 2025 midterms is, the 2026 midterms are, this is the game changer right here. And this is the last true run for President Trump. So if I go back to my logic of the 2024 election, for many of you that were watching me then, remember what my analogy was. My analogy was that you don't get to Return of the Jedi without The Empire Strikes Back. And, we went through A New Hope in 2016. And it's just a necessary progression that you have to go through The Empire Strikes Back in order to get to Return of the Jedi. This is just how things go. So to close out President Trump's political story, I have to believe that he's going to go out with the win in his last meaningful, election. I just have to believe that. And I think history will look back on this as a moment where we look back at his last meaningful moment was the midterms, and it just seems like in terms of the story that has been told since 2016, closing out this story would be capped off by a massive 2026 win. That's how I look at it. So we'll see. Lapco says the IDF pulled out of line and broke my harpoon long before I got anywhere near the whaling wall. What a ripoff. The damn IDF. I swear, man, something's got to be done about that. Mr. Bim says, will Gary ever let Goodyear back on FNT? It was Goodyear's decision. All the Mo Kisses says, I described him as ugly and it wouldn't let me send the original message, so I changed it to dumb. He's the wrong Jer. I don't like him. I know. I was just trolling you. I was just sarcastic. It's all good. I knew you weren't talking about me. The Bella Stella for 50 says, Jeremy, I don't know how you've never addressed this, but what did you think about the Odyssey? We all need to hear your take on it. Well, Bella Stella, I'm glad you asked because I have never tried to force this into a conversation here on CobraCast. I've been very reluctant because I'm a shy person. I don't really like putting strong opinions out there because sometimes I worry what the internet's going to think, and I really don't want to make people mad. So I've been really reluctant to talk about this because I've seen a lot of the negativity online about it. So I was like, gosh, should I really address this? I don't feel confident in my opinion. So I've been really, really scared about this, but your $50 gives me a lot of confidence to be able to finally talk about this film. And yeah. Holy fluent sarcasm, says Beastie. 20 minutes of Odyssey discussion, please. But yeah, like what this comes down to, 95% of my Odyssey discussion is sarcasm. I do like the movie. I love the movie. But 95% of my discussion around it is sarcasm. And it's meant to piss off the people that are upset because I have a different opinion than almost everyone in this space. And I'm fine with that. I actually prefer that. And I think we need more differing opinions in this space anyway. I'm tired of everybody agreeing on every fucking thing. Oh God, a new show comes out and we're all going to fucking hate it. It's fucking boring, dude. There's been a lot of good shit that's come out this year that has not gotten the focus, in my opinion, that it should have. And so it's just getting boring, man. Like, yeah, oh, whoop-de-doo. Everybody fucking hates the Odyssey. Everybody that hated that preemptively hated on the Odyssey ended up hating the Odyssey. Shocker. And I've seen it. I've seen, like, Snarky J uploaded a phenomenal video on her channel. One of the best videos I've seen in a long time. And I don't know Snarky J. I know we run in the same circles, but I don't know her. But Snarky J's video that she uploaded, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, one of the best videos I have seen in a long time. And what she says in her video perfectly captures what I have been seeing and what I have seen with this whole movie that has broken the brains of so many people right now. And she put out a positive review of the Odyssey and she got eaten alive in her comment section. Eaten alive. And I saw it. I watched her review and everything. She got absolutely fucking destroyed. Why? Because she had a different opinion than the majority of people in this fucking space. And she got crushed. She said she lost 500 subscribers. She said people were accusing her of being compromised, all of this shit. And so her video yesterday was awesome. And it was fantastic. And it was a great breakdown of everything that's going on. And so if you have or haven't seen it, I would recommend it. But yeah, shout out to her for sticking to her guns too, and not letting, the wave of like people that haven't seen the fucking movie tell you it's not good. But it has broken the brains of a lot of people, that's for sure. Truly, thank you, Bella Stella. New Amy video on Andrew Candace debate. I actually have that pulled up, and I'm glad that you reminded me. Okay. Good call, Truly Potato. I haven't seen this one yet, so shout out to you for letting me know. Amy Kozak, great comedian who's done a lot of the Tucker Carlson stuff. This right here, I haven't seen it. 4 minutes. Let's fucking go.
Okay, we're live. First of all, I wanted to...
Holy fuck, that's Patrick Bet David. Holy fuck. Already, we're 2 seconds in, and we're already crushing it.
Okay, we're live. First of all, I wanted to thank both of you for sitting down to have the conversation. I love that. I think it's really important to have these conversations. So, Andrew, thank you for taking the time to be here. And Candice, thank you for agreeing to accept the $300,000 it took you to be here. I love that. So, Andrew, let's start with you. What's your question for Candice?
Okay, so my question is, do you have any positive evidence that Israel or Erica Kirk or anyone at Turning Point USA was involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Dude, first of all, this should have been the very first question off rip. And I'm not criticizing Andrew Wilson's approach because he's very good at this, but I think he should have not had that opening statement and just straight up this question right here. Because all bullshit aside, this is what this comes down to. Do you have any evidence to support any of the bullshit you're saying?
Or Erica Kirk or anyone at Turning Point USA was involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk? I don't understand the question. I don't really know what you're asking, actually. If all you were disputing was that the evidence for the case against Tyler Robertson was not sufficient, I would be the last person to be challenging you. That's not why we're having this conversation. You have made claims asserting that you are 100% convinced that Erica Kirk is somehow complicit in Charlie Kirk's murder. I actually never said that. I have said what I feel, and I've said what I believe that I feel, that I know that I feel, and that's what I've said, and I'm not going to change what I believe and what I feel and what I know. But I've never actually said that. You're literally putting words in my mouth that I have not said. So what did you say? I look, I'm not going to play this like game with you where you just like demand that I say things a certain way. You didn't say that? Okay, I don't know what this game is that you're playing, but like I've literally never said that Erica Kirk or Israel is complicit or involved. I mean, I've said that I feel that they are certainly responsible in some way. I've said that they are definitely complicit, but I never said they're actually complicit. I've never said they're complicit. I've said they're definitely complicit, or that they might be, or that I feel that they may be, but I've never said they're complicit. Okay, so you didn't say she was complicit. You said she was definitely complicit? I literally never said that. Because what you're saying is actually making my point stronger, not weaker. It's just like you can do this whole routine. Okay.
All right, he's got to do the ad break. He's got to do the PBD ad break as soon as he gets her on the ropes. Like PBD's gonna be like, well, we got to do an ad break.
Hey, of like asking me questions and interrogating me like we're in court, like I'm on the stand, like you're my daddy, like I'm your bitch. I'm not going to play that game, okay? But I've never said those exact words, and I do have full confidence, and I stand by that.
Why was PBD there? Why was he even there?
And like you're my daddy, like I'm your bitch. I'm not going to play that game, okay? But like I've never said those exact words, and I do have full confidence, and I stand by that I have full confidence, that I have 100% certainty that I know that I feel that. But I've never said that. What I'm saying is that I find it very convincing that Tyler Robertson killed Charlie Kirk. And if you're saying you don't find that convincing, that's fine. But you're making other claims outside of that, claims that you have to back up. It's literally not a claim. That's my opinion. So your claims are baseless, basically. And you're just leading a cult. I mean, it's literally not baseless because it's based on what I think, and what I feel, and what I know, and you're not going to control that. You can't tell me I'm not allowed to think and feel and believe what I think and feel. So you think that Israel was involved? I've not said that they were involved. I've literally never said they were actually involved. I said they were probably connected and responsible in some way. Wait, hang on. You've literally said that thousands of times. I have not said 1,000 times that Israel was involved. You're just making up that number. You're just making up that number. Why don't you bring up my episodes? We can go back and count. You will not find 1,000. You're just making up numbers. This is how humans talk. It wasn't exactly 1,000. If you're going to say a number like 1,000, you should be able to back that up.
Hey, Rob, how many people we have watching this?
Couple 100,000 live.
Hundreds of thousands?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm not going to get into this whole back and forth game you're trying to play.
Oh, that's all.
You should be able to back that up.
Hey, Rob, how many people we have watching this?
Couple 100,000 live.
Hundreds of thousands?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm not going to get into this whole back and forth game you're trying to play where you're just like asking me questions that you feel I have to answer. I don't have to do anything. I'm sorry. I'm not your slave. Okay. I'm not doing anything. This is a debate, and I'm using intuition, and I'm inferring that things don't feel right. Things don't look right, and they never did look right. And I'm not going to just because you demand it that I give you answers, I'm not going to give you those answers and get myself into some legal trouble. It's obviously beyond what I'm capable of doing, and I've never made those kind of claims. And so I've said what I feel, and I feel what I said, and I said what I feel, and combine those two, and you get seal. Kiss from a rose on the grave. Which grave? Charlie Kirk's. What? And I'm sorry, there's just something that doesn't add up about.
Oh no. Oh Oh God, that's such a Candace thing too. Holy shit.
That things don't feel right, things don't look right, and they never did look right. And I'm not going to just because you demand it that I give you answers, I'm not going to give you those answers and get myself into some legal trouble. It's obviously beyond what I'm capable of doing, and I've never made those kind of claims. And so I've said what I feel, and I feel what I said, and I said what I feel, and combine those two, and you get Seal. Kiss from a rose on the grave. Which grave? Charlie Kirk's. What? And I'm sorry, there's just something that doesn't add up about this story. You have 12 Israeli cell phones that day. You have Fort Huachuca. You have the surveillance footage. You have Tyler Robinson escaping with a limp, hiding under a tree where his rifle is, under that tree, going to a steakhouse, leaving a receipt. My source has the receipt. Who is it? Joe Kent? Maybe. I don't know. And then maybe scat. Did you just scat? I'm a scat man. Skimmy-dim-dim dum dum dum. A dum dum dum. Skimmy-dim dum dum dum. Speed up 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 up. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Okay. I don't know what else I could say. So you're just not standing by anything you've said.
Okay, I want to get back to that, but before we do, can we take a quick break? I want to talk about shoes.
Okay, sure.
I love free speech.
This is comedy gold. This guy is phenomenal. He's the one that's done all the Tucker Carlson stuff that we have covered, and this was phenomenal. Great job to him. Man, the PBD stuff, man, just sitting there and be like, yeah, hey, can we do an ad break? Like, dude, this is why, like, PBD is straight up a businessman. That is not, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I have no issue with that. But he's a businessman. Joe Rogan would have been so much better as a true moderator. And I think that's why Candace did not want Joe Rogan involved at all. I think Michael Knowles made a great decision by not involving himself in this. I think Michael Knowles won this debate. That's it right there. Michael Knowles won this debate because he was offered the moderator first, and he politely turned it down. Michael Knowles is the true winner of this debate because he stayed as far away as he possibly could, which was the right decision. But this was a win right here. Good job to him. And thank you for letting me know about that. I really appreciate that. Little Jim's Halo says, why is the Odyssey? Haven't seen it at all. Neither have I. I've heard some stuff about it. Daniel says, the out of power party historically wins back control of the House. Trump may just upset history once again, though, with the DNC and DSA fighting each other. That's true. This is it. I mean, obviously, we know that usually when it, comes to this, the party that, is in control usually loses. And so Trump could reset history once again, like only he can. I don't know if he will. But, it's not like he hasn't done this already before. Joe C says, Snarky J's upload yesterday was brilliant. Yes, it was. Seriously, one of the best videos I've seen in a long time. She was so spot on about this. By the way, why on God's green earth hasn't Beardo hooked up with Snarky? She's single and ready to mingle. Don't give him any ideas. First of all, I was wanting to break this news on Main Event, but since you brought up Beardo, I got to say, guys, we got an issue. Fear the Beardo might not be on Main Event tonight. This is breaking news. Because I hope he's okay. But a YouTuber was stabbed from behind during an argument at a Texas dock. I don't know if he's going to be on Main Event. I'm not sure. So, yeah. I don't know who this is, but I immediately thought of Fear the Beardo as soon as I saw this. Apparently, he's been released from the hospital. So before I made light of any of this, he has been released, apparently. YouTuber stabbed on stream during an argument at Texas dock. Oh, my God, at the pop-ups on this. Captain Crunch Boats, who has 33,000 subscribers, regularly posts videos of him arguing with boaters. Really? Okay, hold on. He regularly uploads video of himself arguing with people. That sounds really annoying. Hang on. Oh my gosh, at the ads on here. He regularly uploads videos of himself arguing with boaters at Clear Lakes Park public boat ramps. In a live stream on August 16th, while filming a family with children, he repeatedly said, "I'm just taking some video for OnlyFans." Wow. He was then confronted by a man telling him to stop mentioning OnlyFans around the kids, after which a heated argument broke out where Captain Crunch Boats called them insults such as dumb fuck and stupid bitch. Both men insulted each other for several minutes. Then Captain Crunch Boats suddenly dropped the camera and sounded in pain before a woman shouted, hey, put the effing knife down. While the video doesn't show anything due to the camera being dropped, investigators confirmed to ABC Houston that this was when an unknown person stabbed the YouTuber from behind. There were shouts of get off while a man appeared to talk the attacker down, saying, "It ain't worth it. I don't know why you just stabbed a motherfucker, bro." The boaters he was arguing with called the police and an ambulance and helped him until they arrived. "I am safe, healthy as an ox, walking, and have since been released from the hospital," confirmed Captain Crunch Boats in a YouTube post. "I was stabbed once and sliced once. The pussy couldn't finish the job." Okay, so I have not read that article at all. So that is a whole different ball game, dude. So you're harassing families with children, and apparently the dad got involved and says, "Quit mentioning OnlyFans around my kids." What a fucking douchebag. What an absolute douchebag. You can and this is my problem with like these content creators out in public doing IRL shit. It's like, if you want to do IRL stuff, that's fine. But like when you start harassing families, especially with kids involved, that's a line too far, dude. And I'm glad that the dad got involved and, was protecting his family, because that's a man's job. Protect your family and protect them from freaks and weirdos. So I'm happy that happened, but yeah, man. Oh, well, that's just based on the information that's available. I don't know all the specifics. I was just wanting to troll Beardo. That's all I was trying to do, was troll Beardo. Next thing you know, we got a crazy situation on our hands. Let's see here. We got Mohap for Epic Mike. I'm going to have to start reading it like that. Stabbed from behind sounds like a typical Saturday night for Beardo. Damn. But the story went dark. It definitely did. What is showing up on my timeline? Why is this on my timeline? The For You tab is a terrible place. But the rule here is, if I had to see it, you have to see it. I don't make up the rules of CobraCast, but I have to follow them. Okay? So if I have to see it, you have to see it. This is on my timeline right here. Democrat sorority. Okay. There you go. If I had to see it, you had to see it. So there you have it. It's kind of accurate. So there you have it. That's the Democrats. You think that's a party that's going to defeat Trump? I don't think so. They worked on the timing. My eyes, yes. Now, I think that there was one more. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it really quick before we end, because we got Tuesday night's main event happening tonight, and it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, the Alex Jones thing, Alex Jones and Tim Pool, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm not really prepared to see, like, I don't anticipate this going any further than Twitter. But I mean, here's Tim Pool. With friends like Alex, this is a lesson of politics. There are no friends, only conveniences. Alex was fine to use my support and show when it served him. Now he has decided I am less of value, or I am of less value. It's hard when you realize some people never really were your friend. I don't disagree with what Tim is saying right here, because I mean, Alex truly did take full advantage of Tim's kindness when no one else was willing to put him on their show. Tim did it.
I'm going to shoot one more report on Tim Pool and his secret meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu that he admitted he had. He said he's going to keep secret. And it's just this: we cannot tolerate Americans meeting secretly with a foreign government that's openly trying to manipulate our foreign policy and primarying members of Congress and trying to take over our military secrets in the new National Defense Authorization Act. And all I know is Tim Pool follows the exact Israeli talking points.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a secret meeting when Tim openly admitted it before it was ever reported. And this is the dishonest way that Alex Jones is approaching this. Again, I don't think that it's great that Tim was meeting with a foreign leader like Netanyahu. I think that that's a terrible decision. But it's kind of like, there's simple rules in life that you know that you should keep yourself out of, but there's two ways to approach this. Number one, it's not a secret meeting because Tim admitted it. Okay. That's the first point. The second point is, I mean, for me, and again, I can only speak for myself, I would never, ever go to a secret meeting with Netanyahu and influencers. I just wouldn't ever do it. Much in the same way, like, you don't put yourself in for me, I try not to put myself in situations I can't control. All right. And that's the smartest approach that you can have.
So even if he's not taking money, he is following their talking points. I want to just say this: despite the billions they've spent trying to propagandize and buy off influencers, there's still enough loyal Americans left, right, and center to see through this and don't buy into it. So you can't buy us all. And that's really,
hey, Israel, you want to make an offer, bro? I'm here.
My message is all your money and all your propaganda hasn't worked. The propaganda has failed. The war is insanely unpopular. America is totally against it. And we, by only 3 votes, failed having Congress institute the War Powers Act and stop this war. We need the last 3 senators that didn't vote for it to vote for it. We need to take our country back. It's that simple.
When did Tim talk about the meeting? This is a long time ago. I'm sure people in the chat have a better time reference than I do, but I do remember Tim openly talking about this a while back, like a year or 2 ago. It's been a while. So, but he's never shied away from this. He just hasn't.
See Tim Pool putting on Israeli talking points against me. It's just absolutely disgusting. And it's shameful what he has become. And so I even saw some of the people in the videos I posted earlier saying, where's your proof he met with Benjamin Netanyahu? You want me to put a link to it here? You want me to show you? No. You know he did. It was a big scandal. So I'm not going to show you proof the sky will be blue tomorrow at noon. Well, then I'm wearing a camo hat or I'm wearing a red shirt or a maroon shirt. I'm just not doing it. You want to believe he didn't meet with Netanyahu? You want to say that isn't true? You think people on X are stupid and Rumble or other places that see this. I'm not going to show you the proof met with the Israelis. It'll make it more fun, like an Easter egg hunt for everybody. Everyone, look at a Tim Pool met secretly with Benjamin Netanyahu. When he got caught, declared Chatham House rules. That means
I was wrong, Jer. He was, in fact, in his wizard years. He's well past his socks days. Yeah, man. That's.
Well, I agreed it would be secret.
Yeah.
Of course he did. Or sue me, Tim, if it's not true. Have your bots come out, have Netanyahu's little body bots come out and say I'm a liar. That makes it better.
Okay. Alex has had a few. He's had a few.
Tomorrow on my show, I'm going to show it all. And I'm going to show Netanyahu launching the 8th Front, the 8th Front War, a year and a half ago, right before you met with him. And we're going to expose it all. And we're going to show how at the exact same time last night when I posted the video about the new algorithm censoring all the live streams, within minutes, hundreds of people saying the exact same thing came out. Are they all on the payroll? Maybe not, probably not, but some are. You can't hide from the truth.
He actually did. Yes, I had this pulled up earlier. I guess we'll watch a little bit of it because I'm not going to watch this whole thing. So we've gotten so sidetracked today. So let's watch a little bit of this.
The lowest circle of hell is reserved for the disloyal, for the betrayers. It's incredible, really. I love that in Dante's Inferno. I believe that loyalty, honor, some of the most important things in the human, emotional, and morally philosophical spectrum. That is, if we cannot trust each other, how do we function as a society? And high trust societies are fantastic. If you go skiing, you can leave your snowboard, your skis, whatever you want, sitting there up against a wall with no issues. In fact, I went skiing recently. Man, where were we? We were skiing.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, Wyoming. I was in Wyoming. Remember? I went on that trip. I had my coat. I had all my cash, my wallet, and my phone. I put it on a chair, and then I left. I had one instance where I think I was in Vermont. I took my coat off because I was getting hot because even though it's cold out, like you're working out, right? I hung my jacket up at a random point near the bottom of one of the trails, and I just went. An hour or two later, came back. There it was. You don't have to worry about your stuff in a high trust society. And that's why it's so important.
Watch the ending. Like, what? Can you give me a timestamp of where I need to go?
And I will say this. Alex Jones is a betrayer. But this is strange. Alex Jones accuses Tim Pool of secret Netanyahu meetings. Plural. On August 18th, 2026, Alex Jones claimed Tim Pool had undisclosed meetings with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the government, urging him to reveal any ties or funding. The accusation references a known April 2025. Can you believe it's been that long? Wow, that's crazy. Group briefing at Blair House in D.C., where Netanyahu met podcasters. It wasn't just podcasters. Personalities from major news corporations were there. I think it was a little more than a dozen people to address anti-Israel views in right-wing media. That's actually not correct. That was an issue that came up, but he was mainly just lobbying U.S. support for war with Iran, for which he really didn't get. Pool raised issues on anti-Semitism and algorithms. This was related to, you know what, let me just finish reading and then I'll address all the nonsense, which we've talked about before. Pool denied secrecy or foreign money, shared photos of the event, and expressed shock at the rift with.
I mean, hey, Tim's dealing with people saying they're regurgitating and reforming his secret meeting with Netanyahu, which is not a good thing to have connected to you. Now, again, Tim is being completely. They're doing him wrong by how they're framing this. It's absolute bullshit. And so I could see why he's gonna have to respond to this. But yeah, man, damn, that's not good optics for him. And it sucks because he's done on this particular situation, he's not done anything wrong.
With Jones, while reactions split between suspicions of influence and defenses of the public roundtable. Okay. Well, so for those that are wondering about that meeting, I got invited by a member of the media. They said, Benjamin Netanyahu is coming to meet with Trump. He will be staying at the Blair House in D.C. We would like to extend an invitation if you wanted to come. Someone in media that we know that's been on the show several times said I got asked to come. They asked me if there's anybody we thought should come, and we said, Tim Pool. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to turn down a meeting with any world leader. I've met with former Soviet generals in Ukraine. I've done fun things, but they were like, no, you're not like, I'm fairly Israel ambivalent is the way I describe it. Like, we'll have Scott Horton on. I'll have Dave Smith on. Dave's a friend. We may disagree on a lot of things, but he's always allowed to come on the show whenever he wants, and he can say whatever he wants. And Scott Horton, we've had it several times, and they're all very critical of Israel. It's always allowed. So I'm fairly ambivalent, but what I think is one of the reasons they wanted to invite me is because of the ambivalence. They want to try and lobby it to support, which is just probably not going to happen because I'm a fairly obstinate individual. But we went, and it was supposed to be under Chatham House rules. And what does that mean? Chatham House means it is public, but they request that you do not attribute statements to individuals, meaning we all took pictures of each other smiling that we were there at the Blair House. House
so
Inhabit
cringe.
literally filmed a video of it. I left and posted, wow, just met Netanyahu. It was very interesting. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, these wackaloons they're flipping out, they're bashing their face on the table because they got Israel derangement syndrome. Like, I just don't care about Israel. I care about eating chicken wings and watching football.
Okay, so again, I'm trying to have Tim's back on this because he did openly admit it, but if you don't care about Israel, why are you going to a private meeting with the Israeli prime minister? Now, I know the default answer there would be, well, it's a world leader. Like, if you don't care about Israel, why are you meeting with the Israeli prime minister? You don't get to say, I don't care about Israel, yet I'm definitely going to go meet with the Israeli prime minister.
You know what I really love, guys? Man, you go to a good sports book, okay, and they get the big screen. You know Maryland Live, if you've never been there.
I know that he just explained it, but the point being is that he also brought up, like, going to Ukraine and meeting with generals. Like, you were in Ukraine. You literally went to Ukraine. Like, you can't say, I don't care. Like, I don't care about fucking watching the fucking Lanterns show. So if I get invited to a press screening of Lanterns, I'm going to say, I don't want to fucking go because I don't fucking care about this. I'm not watching this shit. You know? Like, because I literally don't care.
They got this amazing big, like, theater. You get, like, a nice reclining chair, and you can watch, like, in a movie theater, a UFC fight. That's what I care about. So when people come to me and they're like, Israel, I'm like, guys, I'm not going to get into the inner workings of Israeli historical politics and Gaza and all that stuff. I got some opinions, like I do on most things foreign policy-wise. So why did Alex Jones on a dime betray me? Let me put it like this. For the past decade, I've defended Alex Jones every step of the way on everything. I am looking right now at an Alex Jones was right jar, which we've had for years.
He has done this.
4 years. It's pretty crazy to think how long it's been. The Alex Jones was right jar from our original, well, not our original, but our previous studio in Maryland that we would put money in. There's a couple of fake, prop $100 bills in there, but there's some real money in there too. And it's mostly just a gag. And the point of the jar is that the joke is Alex Jones is right a lot, and you're constantly putting money in the jar. It's meant to reference that people doubt him, and when he's right, you've got to put money in the jar, and it fills up. Well, now, I hate to say this, but we have crossed out right and put wrong. No.
Oh,
so here's what happens.
You're bad at sarcasm, Tim. You're bad.
Alex had a post about how his viewership dropped off, like 90%. And I posted, actually, I think I have it right here. I said, my honest, Red Alert live shows.
That was really bad.
On actually a 90% reduction in viewers after change in algorithm. Are we witnessing mass censorship or just a bug in the system? I said, my honest opinion is that you can't go pro-Trump for 10 years, then Trump critical, and be surprised if your audience drops off.
So this is what I would call, and I've mentioned this several times. This is called a tactical mistake. All right. So essentially, if you know Alex Jones like you say you do, and you've spent time with Alex, you kind of know what Alex does. Alex likes to take something and blow it way out of proportion because he's trying to get traction for X, Y, or Z. So Alex is creating a narrative right there because he is, for whatever reason, there's 1,000 reasons why he's creating that narrative. You are quote tweeting him with the intent to take away from his narrative. Now, that's fine. You have the right to do that. But once you interrupt Alex Jones building his narrative, this is what you would expect out of Alex Jones, to respond and go scorched earth. And that's what he's doing. And this is a tactical mistake. Why even respond if you don't want the heat that's going to come with it?
Go pro-Trump for 10 years, then Trump critical, and be surprised if your audience drops off. Alex got really mad. He said, more boomer slop. I said, open an ice cream shop, and over the years, you have customers who love it. One day, you announce you're going to be vegan ice cream, and customers stop coming in. This isn't an insult, Alex. I did not say this to be like, Alex Jones is a loser who's losing all his views. No, it's a simple point that if tomorrow I came out and said, I'm voting Democrat, we can trans the kids, I don't believe any of that stuff. Tax the rich. I'm voting for Bernie Sanders. Yep, there'd be a backlash. I mean, honestly, though, people would be like, haha, very funny, Tim, you're trolling. But, if you have, let's just go to the more extreme. If you have a bicycle shop and you have a dedicated customer base that over 10 years, they're coming into their bicycles fixed. And then one day you announce you're offloading all of your bicycles. You're not a fan of them. You think the components are bad for the environment, and you're going.
The only thing I would disagree with him on, because obviously, generally speaking, he's right. But Alex Jones did not build his following off of being a pro-Trump guy. Alex Jones had a mega following before Trump even got into politics. Alex Jones, I don't know how many millions of subscribers Alex Jones had when he got kicked off of YouTube, but if they would have never kicked Alex Jones off of YouTube, Alex Jones would have 10 million subscribers today, probably. He may have more than that. I mean, Alex Jones has just been he has just been a fixture for a long time. So while he did build more off of the MAGA stuff for sure, no doubt about that. So there's some truth to what Tim is saying right there. It's not a one-to-one comparison.
To be selling clogs, like wooden shoes. People should walk more. Guys, the bicycle people aren't going to come back. You're going to go, why aren't I making money? Well, you're selling something different. You have a different product. That's not an insult to Alex Jones. I'm pointing out he's probably going to see a drop-off since he came out against Donald Trump, critical of Trump. He says, Tim, it was a glitch affecting all streamers on X. It's now been fixed. Tell Benjamin Netanyahu I say hi.
That's awesome, actually.
And I saw that. I said, what? So I responded, I've never said a bad word of you, Alex. He posted again, if you wanted a war, you just got one.
Holy fuck, dude. This is... Alex is like, it's over. Again, tactical mistake for Tim Pool. Why are you quote tweeting Alex Jones? Why are you fucking with this man?
What? So let me ask this question. What happened to Alex Jones? Honest question. What happened to Alex Jones? A man I've defended for a decade who has been influential on my worldview. I often cite Key Bono. Who benefits? It's a question I heard him ask back in the 2000s, a long, long time ago. He said, when you're looking at these conspiracies and these stories, you should always ask yourself.
All right, we're going to have to go towards the end because I cannot. I have to end this stream, so we're going to fast forward a little bit here.
This is the nature of politics, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about, we can talk about Clint Russell as well, because he's a friend of the show, has an open invite to come on the show whenever he wanted. And then one day he said we wouldn't invite him on the show. And I'm just like, what? Why is he lying? That's just so weird. Now for him, I think he's just desperate to be in the crowd or whatever. And, Candace Owens, she gets lots of views. So everybody is desperate to try and, be in her camp or whatever.
Yeah, welcome to the internet.
Meanwhile, they're tweeting at me, why are your views down, Tim? I don't care. Play whatever weird games you do. Maybe that's it.
Well, hey, views aren't going to be down soon because I don't know if you guys have heard. Tim is just kind of whatever. I mean, you guys said listen to the last few minutes of it, but I don't really know what else is here.
There you go, Alex. His views going down. Maybe the real benefit was I will attack Tim Pool because it will help me get views. Okay. Well, then he's just a piece of shit scumbag. But I guess he is either way, right? He's either a coward who is being threatened or he's just so desperate for views. There you go, Alex. I hope it's worth it. Phone's right there. Hope it's worth it. Homeboy shows up on my show pissed drunk and has what we believe was an alcohol-induced stroke on the show. We cut the show, pull the cameras, and he has to leave for a medical emergency. And we've never said a bad word of the man. He shows up drunk to Gasworks in Austin, sloshed out of his mind, staring down the bottom of a bottle of Tito's. And we never said a bad word of the man. You are a piece of shit, Alex Jones.
Oh,
you
boy.
You are a betrayer.
Oh,
you are
boy.
disloyal, and you deserve everything that's coming to you.
Oh, boy. Damn. Tim is pissed. That's funny as hell. Yeah, so I mean, as far as YouTube views go, I'm not going to play this whole thing. I'm not at all. I'm only going to play the first few minutes. YouTube has made a massive change that's going into effect in 6 days, I think. Flash, am I right about that? This new change, 6 days. I'm going to go over to Moist Critical because all he says is wow. But this new update is crazy. 6 days? Okay. Let's listen to Moist Critical real quick. Talk about this insane YouTube change.
I mean, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this new YouTube change is my second least favorite change they've ever made, second only to dislikes being removed, and this is only slightly behind it because I think this one is on almost the same level of baffling stupidity to even have the idea, and even more befuddling to pull the trigger on actually implementing.
Yeah, so essentially literally the first half of second. So if you're scrolling your YouTube feed and if it just auto plays for a half a second, they're going to count that as a view now.
This idea. YouTube has made a habit out of just going hog wild on changes that not a single soul on the planet has ever asked for. And there's a chance that these ideas are thoughts that not a single sentient organism has ever thought of until YouTube farted them out. Because these ideas are just so silly and wacky. It's like when you take a shit, you're probably not thinking about eating the poop, but YouTube, they get in there like a pinworm and they say, hey, to hell with it. Send it, launch.
Charlie, you being a little meta there? Talking about YouTube eating poop? Who's the YouTube CEO? Just curious.
And they do, like removing dislikes because their feelings got hurt over Rewind. And now today they announced that they're completely changing the way that YouTube views on long-form content are calculated publicly. Starting August 24th, views will count the moment a video begins to play with no minimum watch time. The first frame of a video will count as a view now across all formats, VOD, Shorts, and Live. We're standardizing views to reflect creators' true exposure across YouTube, making it easier to show their value to brand partners. This update won't impact creator earnings or YouTube partnership.
This is insane. Like, making it easier to show their value to brand partners. It's public views, but on the back end, you're going to have the real views. Brand partners are not going to care about the public views. They're only going to care about the private views. This is nothing more than it's encouraging people to make terrible fucking content because it's going to increase clickbait is what it is. Because how many times have you clicked on a video that gave you a thumbnail and a title, but as soon as you clicked on it, you could tell it was bullshit or it was AI or whatever, and you click off of it. If they don't get your view in the first 30 seconds, it doesn't count as a view. With this now, the public view, it's going to count as a view. So clickbait is going to be incentivized now. Clickbait and AI, 100% incentivized by this bullshit right here.
Program eligibility. So if you have a video even autoplay for a split second, like scroll to one and it autoplays, that counts as a view publicly. Now, they do mention that they still have engaged viewer metrics, which is kind of the old way of calculating it, where you need a viewer to stick around for, it was about like 30 seconds on long form.
Benny Johnson and Josiah Rise is going to have a field day.
Content, which is like an actual view and something that's been standard on the platform for ages. Now they're going the way of shorts calculation, which is even if you like fall asleep and it just starts doom scrolling, every single thing that it hits is going to count as a view there. Just ding is an impression, which is completely useless. This change is going to explode YouTube views, obviously, but it's not real. It's just a vapid fake number. It's just phony baloney nonsense, really.
It's honestly, it sounds like how YouTube and Twitter are counting their views. So like, for instance, right here, I heard Alex Jones talking about this, okay? I heard him on his show, and he was talking about the live viewers that he has. Let me see if I can find it. Now, I don't know if Twitter has changed this, but Twitter counts, they don't count concurrent views, they count total views. So if you have a live stream that's been live for, a day or something like that, then it's going to count like total views. I go right here. Rumble does it right now. Okay. Streaming now to 11.5 million views is that's the total view count. Now, obviously, it says there's 3,900 people that are live watching the stream right now, but the total number that have interacted with this is 11.5 million. That's how Twitter does theirs, where if you see a stream that's been going for like 10 hours, the view count is always going to go up because it doesn't count concurrent viewers, which is what YouTube is doing right now on my stream and what YouTube does on everybody's stream. Concurrent, who is watching right now in that moment. They count total viewers. So that number is always going up. So it gives you a false sense of how many people have actually watched or that are watching it. And so that's essentially what they're doing with this new change here. And I just don't see how this helps the platform at all. It really distorts reality and it just incentivizes more terrible content, in my opinion. But I wanted to touch on that before I got to get ready for Tuesday night's main event. But if you want to see the rest of the video, this is Penguin Zero, Moist Critical. Yes, 18 million subscribers. I know a lot of you don't like him. I like Charlie. I like his content. I don't know him, but I do like his content when he's not talking politics. Heir to the Empire says, what are you talking about on Tuesday's main event, Jared? Odyssey? I've never talked about that at all. I don't think the audience doesn't seem like they want me to talk about that. So I tend to get really scared when my audience gets upset. So I'm probably never going to talk about that one. Sam Uri says that Quartering is right. We can't give up any numbers versus fraud. Thank you, Sam. Mr. Bentham says, don't worry, Quartering can fix this relationship. He always does. Lag for 10 says, I had literally avoided watching the Kirk assassination footage since I didn't want that shit sitting in my brain. I'd seen as bad before. Fuck Alex for planting that evil in my mind. Yeah, I've got to edit that out after this stream. It was so bad. Sorry about that. East Coast Host Boy says, someone needs to make another picture of your YouTube thumbnail, but the three Trumps are wearing slightly different suits and they're the Spider-Man pointing at each other. Johnny Witzka says, I'm not mad at Rumble for allowing that to be shown, but Alex should have warned us, graphical content incoming, viewer discretion advised. Now you may be flagged by YouTube. You better hurry up and blur it. I will. Big Homie Shell says, fucking painful to watch. Agreed. All right. With that said, Tuesday night's main event, I will raid that stream and you guys can continue the discussion over there. Should be a lot of fun. We got a lot of entertainment stuff to talk about and it will be good. So I will raid that stream. I'll see you guys over there in about 45 minutes. Have a good evening and we will talk to all of you later. Bye. That would have worked, but your profile picture is so good that I can't be mad at you. Thank you, guys.